What's up, everybody? Welcome to a special Elseworlds edition of DC Action Hour.
Do we do POW?
All right, I'm the only chariot, apparently. All right. All right, we're back to the old school intro, huh?
Yeah. I think we should all switch. I'm Jeff, and you are?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm Francis. I'm Francis.
And I'm Marx.
It's a Freaky Friday situation going on here, folks. All right, anyway, I'm actually Jeff. Thank you very much for joining us. This is DC Action Hour, where we talk all the CW DC shows. And today, we're going to talk about the big Elseworlds crossover that just happened the past 3 days here on Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl. So this is the third year in a row they've been kind of like a very big crossover they've done. Joining me is, of course, Marx Pyle.
Yay!
Hey, everybody.
And we got a longtime frequent contributor to this show. It is from the Points of Interest Podcast Network and Sincere Sarcasm, Francis Fernandez.
Hello. Pam pam pow.
Excellent. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, guys. And I already see our buddy Lister's Mate and Carrie Johnson are in the chat. Thanks so much, guys. They're already talking in the chat about how Legends of Tomorrow did a little reference to the crossovers.
It did.
All right, so before we get into it, we got a lot to talk about with Elseworlds. We're going to kind of pretty much discuss everything. We want to hear your guys' thoughts, what you liked, what you didn't like. We love hearing from you. I actually already got a bunch of comments on Facebook and Twitter that people put in earlier today, so we'll share those as well. But first, we always like to start with our super tweet question, which is a fun question to get things going. Today's is, if you could have two DC characters swap bodies, who would you choose? And we do mean like a Freaky Friday situation where their actually consciousness are going into each other's bodies.
Yes. Where Jamie Lee Curtis starts playing the guitar. Yeah.
Right. And Lindsay Lohan does, I don't know, business shit, whatever the hell Jamie Lee Curtis does in that movie.
Not much, really.
No, does she have a job or something?
I don't remember if she actually went to the job or not. Like, it's been a while since it's been a while. It's been a while. This is pre crazy Lindsay Lohan, so I don't remember anymore.
Yeah. By the way, yes, as Listener's Mate said in the chat, he says, Francis, your cam is frozen. Unfortunately, that keeps happening. Listener's Mate, I know. He'll try to reset it here, but I don't know. Francis's camera has been hacked by Oliver Queen's amazing hacking abilities that we just learned he had in the crossover.
Yeah. He's so good.
Yeah. Anyway, so for character swapping bodies, I'm actually going to go from the Elseworlds thing, I'm going to go with Supergirl and Batwoman, even though we just got introduced to Batwoman, because I think that would be super funny to have Kara having to like be all super like gruff and serious and like tough, like that persona anyway. I mean, not that she's not tough, and then have Batwoman have to be kind of a little more cheery-esque. And, have a nice...
Does she have to be more cheery as Supergirl?
No, but here's the thing. In most of those situations, the person has to try to pass as that other person, right? For whatever plot contrivances are going on. So right. I'm imagining that they would have to try to act like they're other people that pass, get people to believe it. So.
Okay, sure, yeah, okay. Yeah.
All right, Francis, what about you?
All right, so my joke answer is elongated man and plastic man should switch.
Get out of here.
Jeez. You're really stretching it.
I really set that one up for him.
It's the best. No, really, I was thinking more of Joker and Batman switching places. I think that'd be amazing to see that. I think they probably have already done it. I'm fairly certain there must be some comic book where those two have switched places. I wouldn't be surprised, at least, if there wasn't one already, but they're kind of the same person. They're kind of not. Just kind of seeing that duality would be a lot of fun to see on the page or even on screen. That'd be kind of awesome. So I'd say Batman and Joker for sure.
Oh yeah, that'd be crazy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say Martian Manhunter and Joker. I think Joker would have a lot of fun as Martian Manhunter.
So much damage.
Because he gets shapeshift, right?
Yeah, shapeshift and all sorts of stuff.
And have some
Joker. And then Joker would act so, nice and logical, whatever he is, Martian.
Right, Batman would be very confused by that Joker. By the way, folks, if you haven't watched our show before, Marx's answers to everything is Martian Manhunter. Just so you know.
Oh,
as it should be.
Right.
Yeah. I like that they all have that. Everyone has their answer, their go-to answer. Like listeners' mate is always She-Hulk or Orion Slave Girl. So that's it.
It's true.
I use not on this show so much, but on Super Geeked Up, I use Lara Croft all the time as one of my answers.
Yeah.
Francis, who's your go-to answer?
I don't know. I need one now. Like I need to find one. I'll have to think about it.
Oh,
I don't have one.
Carmen Sandiego. That's who it is, because that's who we're trying to get you to cosplay as.
That's true. Yeah, Carmen. I'll take Carmen. Yeah, I'll take.
Carmen Sandiego's great, man. I can't wait for the new series and film coming up on Netflix.
When in the world? Is it when? Right? When in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I want to say it's when.
Is that what they're calling it?
I think they changed it to a time thing.
Well,
like
they've done those before in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just say it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but all right. But all right, folks. Again, if you in the chat, if you're watching, please, if you have any thoughts about what characters you want to see swap in the DC universe, that'd be great. Please put them in the chat. Now we're gonna get right into the Elseworlds discussion. Seems overall and I'll share some comments shortly here that I got on social media. But it seems overall most people seem to dig it. They enjoyed the crossover. So kind of speaking on more broader terms first. What did you guys think about it overall? And yeah,
I was shocked by the snap. I mean, oh wait a minute, wrong thing.
I don't even know what you're referencing.
They were so sad afterwards when half the DC universe disappeared. It was so disappointing.
Oh, I know. Okay, I get it now. All right.
Oh man,
I liked it. It was a lot of fun, and it's promising to something major with Crisis. So
yeah, I thought it was too short. Actually, I thought it was too short. Kara didn't get a lot to do. Like it was weird. It just felt really. I don't know if it was just me, but I felt like 3 episodes wasn't enough. Like they needed the 4th to kind of pad out what was going on. Because that 3rd episode felt crowded, and I think felt a little bit like, let's throw everything on. All right, let's just do everything all at once. Like,
yeah, it was very Arrow Flash heavy.
Yeah, which was fine.
Maybe it's because Superman took some of the time up from Supergirl.
Yeah, but in previous crossovers, it's like when the Legends were there's like 5 of them, and they didn't really. It felt like it was evenly distributed amongst the entire cast. This time around, yeah, it was Ollie and Barry heavy, but that was okay. Like I didn't think we had enough of 90s Flash in there. They hyped him up so much, and he's there for like 3 scenes.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed he wasn't in there more.
Yeah,
he's like, let's fight, monitor. Boom, nope, we're gone. No, he snapped his finger.
Snap is all powerful.
It is.
Listeners made in the YouTube chat had said about the swapping places thing about having Cisco maybe swap with one of his lady coworkers. Maybe Caitlin maybe or something. That could be interesting.
Understand love. I don't know.
That would help him understand love. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe.
See? There you go. What if him and Gypsy swap bodies?
Well, they've already seen each other naked, so it's fine.
Yeah. Look, anything that brings back more Danny Trejo, I'm happy with. If we can get more Danny
you're not getting any more of that or Gypsy, I don't think.
Yeah, I know.
Sailed.
Yeah.
So overall, I really dug the crossover. By far, for me, the last 3 years, it was my favorite. Unlike a lot of people, I actually had issues with the past 2, the Dominators and last year's Earth X. So I dug this one a lot. Not that it was perfect by any means. I think part 3 in particular was rather weak, and I think it may have suffered from what you said, Francis. Trying to cram too much in. I don't know. I just felt like it was a bit of a mess, and the whole story kind of started to fall apart at that point. Yeah. It was just all set up for the bigger crossover next year. That's what it was. Yeah. But the first 2 parts, I think were really well done, and still overall, I think it was definitely well done. A lot of fun. Carrie Johnson in the live chat says, "I hope Crisis is a 5-hour event." Wow, he really likes.
at least.
Look, they better have Black Lightning in it, or you're really annoyed because it's like,
don't count on it.
Come on,
don't count on it. And the reason I say that is I've read some articles online, and I don't know, one of the sites like IO9 or Collider or something was saying that the showrunners of Black Lightning have repeatedly said they have no interest whatsoever in being part of crossovers.
That's too bad.
That's according to whatever I read online. If that is accurate.
I mean, that's a shame. It hurts them.
Yeah. Yes and no. I mean, we talked about this, right? That we thought maybe it'd be harder, but I mean, at this point, they've already established, right? They're already doing well. They don't. They've already doing season 2, obviously. And from a storytelling standpoint, I actually respect that. To be honest with you, part of my complaints in the past have been these crossovers. They're trying to jam things in that don't really make sense with the rest of the storylines that are going on in each respective series, but they feel they have to do it, right? So if Black Lightning's like, we don't want to try to jam our characters into some nonsense, then I respect that they're being more true to their show. Now this one, this one I thought did a much better job though of not being wacky with the rest of the storylines this year. The crossover.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Marx. What were you saying?
Yeah, but I think it hurts their. I don't know what their ratings are, but I imagine it hurts a little bit because then people feel like, even if they like Black Lightning, they feel like if they only have so many hours, they're going to be more lean more towards the other ones that actually cross over.
Yeah, and I think there's just a gradual want to see the worlds, all of their kind of same properties kind of combined. I mean, that's the reason why Supergirl was even moved to CW in the first place, was because they really wanted that cohesion.
Well, and but mainly because CBS was going to cancel it.
Well, that too. But I mean, like, it helped a lot that CW picked it up, and I think people appreciate it.
It should have been on there in the first place. I don't know why it was on CBS. It's like the last place you put a superhero show.
Like, why is Titans on? Where's Titans? Oh, just
that's on their. That makes sense. It's on their streaming service. DC Universe.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, you are right. If they're going to do Black Lightning anywhere, Crisis would make sense, right? To have it there.
Yeah. And it could just be a slight. It doesn't even have to deal with it. It just showing that they're a part of the bigger DC universe, I think, would be a big deal. Just
pulling him in for an episode, like him and Thunder, maybe to help out. That's all you got to do. Yeah.
Or maybe them just spending
Tobias Wale in their mics.
Yeah.
Tobias Whale.
Sorry, it's a joke. It was a joke to an earlier episode where Marx was trying to pronounce his name, and he did not do it very well.
Tobias Wale. I like it though.
It sounds very fancy though, right? It makes him sound much cooler. But by the way, Carrie, we can actually get a 5-hour Crisis even without Black Lightning, because we'll have a Batwoman show.
Yeah, and
there's
they'll probably
5th hour right there. Maybe we'll have a Superman show too. They're all a 6-hour event.
And maybe we will, but not next season. I don't think so.
Well, they're saying that one of the characters is supposed to die next season, and everyone's pointing to Oliver. They're thinking he's going to get
in the Crisis event.
Yeah, because apparently that's how they prevent. That's how they stop the Crisis in the end. Someone has to sacrifice themselves.
Well, that's what they've been hinting at in Flash from season 1, right? Is the Crisis thing in the future?
Right.
Yeah.
This is what they've been building towards, right?
Yes.
Now, Marx or Francis, if you've read it, does that happen in the comic book, The Crisis from the 80s? Does Flash die?
Yeah, both Flash and Supergirl died.
Which is what they were referencing in part 3 here, that both of them could have died at the end of this thing, right? Interesting. And then, of course, sometime later, and then they kind of brought him back in some other way, right? In the comics.
Well, I think someone else took up the mantle of the Flash, and then.
Oh, is that when Wally came?
That's when Wally became Flash.
Okay, and then there just wasn't a Supergirl for a while.
For a while, then they had other Supergirls, and like one ended up being an alien shapeshifter or something, and another one ended up being an angel. It was all weird, really weird stuff.
All right.
I think it was backlash because of the really bad Supergirl movie. So I think DC didn't know what to do with Supergirl.
God, yeah, that was not good.
They tried.
Well,
They tried.
Here's the thing: do you really think though they're going to kill off Flash, Francis?
No, I think they'll kill off Ollie. I think that because they can't do Arrow for much longer.
Kill off
Arrow,
Ollie?
Yeah, I think Ollie's going to be the sacrifice because they just.
I don't know, man. I can easily see them doing Arrow for at least 10 seasons.
Yeah, it is CW.
That shows
Supernatural's on season.
I don't think they're killing off any. I don't think they're killing off any lead character.
Maybe I don't know. It could be. Well, look, if it's all of the Earths, then there's going to be one of them. It doesn't have to be a main character. It could just be a representation of a main character dying. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't
from
have
another Earth or something.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't really.
But I mean, I don't know. The
rumor Tom Welling Superman pops up and dies. And
there you go. That could do that. You're right.
That'd be amazing. I would love that. But
it'd be like, somebody save me.
Oh God! Oh, well, Mark, you're on point today.
Oh my God! I think we can shed in the show on that. I mean, you can't. That's great.
Good night, everybody.
That was awesome.
Let me share some things in the chat here. Carrie says, I don't think it needs to include all the shows, meaning the Crisis crossover next year. I think CW can make it a 4 or 5 hour 2-night event and focus on 3 or 4 shows. Beyond that, I don't need Black Lightning to be part of the crossover. Lister's Mate says, don't kill off Cisco. So he definitely doesn't want him to be killed off. Lister's Mate also said he thinks Monitor was a terrible name for a villain. Is he like Marvel's version of the Watchers? I guess kind of, right?
He kind of looked like Apocalypse to me for some weird reason.
I just don't really think he did.
I can't remember what Monitor. He's like a guardian or
because he's not really a bad guy. In his own way, he's trying to help them, right?
Right. Yeah, he's trying to help them because in the comic books in the Crisis, it was the Anti-Monitor who came and wanted to wipe out all the Earths.
So he's the good Monitor.
Yeah. Anti-Monitor's like, I don't know, I guess anti-universe.
Right. These are great names, by the way. We'll just call the character the character we already have.
Right.
Anti-Superman. Anti-Batman.
That was anti-Superman. So.
We Are Angels, who is our good buddy Aaron Garcia, who's been on the show before, says they need to kill off some leads to be as good as Crisis. I don't think they will, though. Yeah, I just don't see them making that move.
It's just that, Crisis is such a huge event. They have to give it some weight. Yeah. And by giving
they might kill off an important supporting character.
Maybe that's how Felicity dies. Dun dun dun.
It's funny. I was thinking of her.
Felicity's in the future, though.
Oh,
maybe.
Maybe.
We don't know if she's alive or not, though, yet.
Yeah.
What we don't know is if Oliver's alive in the future. They have not mentioned him yet.
That's true.
Look, as long as Bebo saves the day, I'm happy. That's all
maybe Bebo will die. That's who dies.
I want a giant Bebo to take on the Anti-Monitor. It'd be awesome.
Why didn't the Doctor guy become Bebo instead of Superman in his Elseworld?
Look, he's not. He doesn't love people.
He shouldn't be that. Okay, look, that's a big issue with the Doctor
Bebo?
guy. No, becoming Superman. Superman doesn't exist in Earth 1. Why does he know who Superman is?
Because he was there.
He has the book. He has the book. He knows everything the Monitor knows.
Yeah.
Well, no, he knows everything that's in a timeline, but because Superman popped up in that one episode to help out with Amazo, he knew of his existence.
Yeah, that's true. And the Monitor.
Well, and also, I think, he knows about Supergirl. I guess he didn't want a sex change, and he got powers. I don't know. It's a little confusing how he did it.
That was a weird line of dialogue. Oh, you just referenced that.
There's a lot of weird lines of dialogue.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into. Thank you guys again, Carrie. Let's just make Aaron, everybody for watching. So here, let me just see here. All right, yeah, let me get into. Well, let me share some comments here actually from Facebook first before we get into some more specific stuff. Jared Spangler had said on Facebook, Smallville and 90s Flash was my favorite. I liked how they introed Batwoman. The action was great. Let's see who else we got here. Justin Lesniak wrote me a whole bunch of stuff. Actually, I'll just share a little bit of it. Overall, enjoyed the hell out of it. I need to rewatch, catch all the things I missed. I'm sure there are lots of. He loved Smallville throwback. He loved that Supergirl's part of the Smallville universe. And I'm gonna get some other stuff he said later because he also liked the 90s Flash as well. All right, both of those things seem to be big hits here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into here. Let's start with obviously the main thing that drove most of the story, which was Oliver and Barry waking up in this world where they're basically have different roles. That Barry's the Green Arrow and Oliver is the Flash.
Which was great because Barry got to do Ollie's intro in the Arrow episode.
But that made no sense whatsoever, though. I don't know why.
I thought it was great. I thought it was
there
really
was no need for it except to have Grant Gustin do it, just to have him do it.
I just thought it was funny. Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah, because
Well, because in this reality, that'll happen to him. So.
Exactly.
But it hasn't.
They couldn't do
really.
it. They couldn't do it Flash because it hadn't been revealed yet, so you couldn't open with that.
Yeah, you can open with Stephen Amell saying he's the fastest man alive. Though that would have been great too.
Although that might have been a really surprising way to reveal it, though, for us.
Actually, it could have been. I mean, we already knew that.
Been.
I mean, I already knew going in. Obviously, that's what they were doing. So,
look, it was just silly. It wasn't meant to be like, torn apart or anything. It's just a silly little thing they did as an intro for Arrow, and I thought it was great because it made me laugh at least. But
it played around. They played around with those before. Legends does that ever so often, where they have like a villain do the intro and stuff or something.
Yeah.
Carrie, by the way, said, "Well, let's find out whose contracts are up next year, and I bet they're the ones who get sacrificed about who's going to die in Crisis." There you go. Yeah, good point, Carrie. Yeah, go do some research there. You're a reporter, Carrie, so you can find this out for us.
Wow.
He is a reporter. I'm not lying. I'm not making that up. So. Yeah, I mean, the concept's a lot of fun. I think that worked a lot. I thought there was a lot of humor in it, to be honest, with the two switching roles. I actually think they let Grant Gustin basically pretty much have the most comedic stuff he ever got to do. They really let him, I think, run wild on this one and just give him a lot of funny lines and stuff, which was nice to see. Yeah. It was kind of, I don't know, a little bit harkening back to how it used to be, and then Flash got a little more serious, unfortunately, right, the past 2 years. So it was nice to see a very fun Barry. I'm sorry, some of the stuff was just really like think of like, can I get a ride in the Batmobile? It was just like ridiculous.
Well, we got to see a little bit lighter side of Oliver too, right?
We did, yes.
When he had to pretend to be like Flash, and he's like giving, his thumbs up and everything, and that kind of stuff. It was pretty fun.
I don't think I've seen Amell smile that much in 3 episodes. Like he was smiling a lot in those 3 episodes. Like, wow, he can smile.
He was so happy that they let him smile for once. That's why he was making up for
it. Yeah,
I mean, that actor's not dark and broody all the time.
Oh man, did you see that? Him getting upset over that on the social medias? Yeah.
No, what's that?
It was Stephen Amell. I guess somebody wrote about how they were tired of how the writers were treating Oliver for every crossover, like how Oliver's grown and he's matured and he's changed, but they always treat him like he's some type of playboy jerk, like he was season 1. And so Stephen Amell apparently kind of was agreeing, like, yeah, he's hoping that in the future they'll write him as a more, and I think they're hinting at it too in this crossover event where they're treating him with the respect that I feel like he's earned by now. Instead of, thinking, it's Oliver when Iris kissed him and everything's like, I'd never date Oliver. Man, it's like, what?
I love your Iris impersonation, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Hang on, that's a great point, actually. But let me just share some YouTube chats. Let's just made it said, why didn't the crossover reference Alfred and Lanier? Ryan jumps in, says it did. As he points out, Alfred was the Wi-Fi password at Kate Kane's Wayne building.
It was great.
Yeah.
Which is great. I love that. It was fantastic. So I totally agree. What you brought up, Francis, I agree with that. I actually think this crossover kind of was almost writing Barry and Oliver in many ways like season 1 of their characters, right? It was not writing them like where they are currently, particularly with Oliver. And you're right. That is not true, really, to what it is. That is a problem, I think, with the crossover. And yeah, I mean, and also, I actually didn't like that they kept slipping back and forth between their trying to be the other one and themselves. Like particularly with Barry, like at one point he gets super dark, right? Like Oliver, and is about to kill someone, and I'm like, why? He's not Oliver. He's still Barry. He knows he's Barry.
Right.
That makes no sense. And then all of a sudden, then he's back to joking around like 2 minutes later.
Well, they had to play the part to be able to take full advantage of the abilities and stuff.
Right? What? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I kind of get it in that sense. Like they were trying, and I think it's a good excuse to kind of get into each other's.
I don't buy that. That's only because Kara told them, you guys should do this. So they're like, oh, okay, I guess we're going to do it.
But yeah, and I think like I said, it's a good excuse to kind of get into each other's heads and build them up as characters and kind of fast track because you're right. Like you were saying, hey, they're writing them as if they were still season 1 characters. This was their way to fast track for people who only watch crossovers. I think they're assuming people only watch crossovers and don't watch any of the other shows.
That is true, actually. Like some people, actually, like a fellow DragonCon panelist I was talking to earlier today, she just watches Arrow, and then the crossovers she watches too. Yeah.
So this is a way for them to kind of say, hey, look, Barry's been dark before. Look how he's been dark and changed sometimes, and how he's had quandaries. And look how Ollie can every once in a while and have a good time. It's dumb, but I think it's just their way.
Unfortunately, a bit of a disservice to the fans who do watch all the shows.
Yeah.
Because I just don't buy that Barry would go that dark. He would lose himself on the role that quickly and get that dark. No, I would not believe that at all.
Yeah.
Unless he's Savitar Barry. But he's not. Okay, so.
But it's in there. It's inside of him somewhere.
Yeah.
Oliver pulled it out of him, huh? That's why he became Savitar.
It was just so we could get the cool line, "You failed this city," you know.
Maybe that's. Yeah, I know. They just wanted the line. They wanted him to say the line.
They wanted to, yeah.
Maybe that's why actually he becomes Savitar in the future, because of this Elseworlds thing, and he became Oliver for a while.
There you go. It's all connected.
You know what? You know what I did love though? I actually think they did a great job with Barry's fight scenes as Green Arrow. They were really good.
Oh yeah,
you totally bought him as Green Arrow.
Oh yeah. When he fought Diggle that first time.
Yeah, and he also fights some thugs or whoever they were, in the Gotham or somewhere else.
Yeah, on Nolan and Burton. Yeah.
Yeah, Nolan and Burton Street, as you pointed out. Very nice, nice reference.
I don't know. I noticed there were a lot of fights, especially against their arch, like when they were under the influence of the Scarecrow toxin.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
Fear
toxin. These are obvious stunt doubles because they blurred their faces and everything. It was really, it was like, oh, here are the stunt doubles doing the fight scene. Okay, cool.
And the costumes looked better on screen, but all the behind the scene photos. I mean, Oliver. Stephen Amell does not look good in the Flash outfit.
I thought he was going to look ridiculous, but I actually thought on screen it looked fine. I actually thought
it looked better on screen.
Yeah,
in real life it looks horrible. Yeah,
hey, you're talking in real life Flash costume.
In real life, I wouldn't put on that costume. It looks like pajamas with a helmet.
How was Grant Gustin able to get away with it then? Because I think Grant Gustin looks fine.
Well, it fits his body.
Fine, has a nice lean physique.
Yeah.
Yeah, it fits his body a little better, and I personally don't like this costume as much as the other ones.
No.
I'm getting more used to it, but I don't think it's as good as their past ones. To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah,
didn't look quite.
Francis was telling me over the weekend about how he hates it. And I don't like it as much either. Yeah.
And my theory was that the reason why they got rid of the chin part of the costume was so that when they did the crossover, Ollie can have his beard and stuff just showing under the mask, so you can tell it's him. That's my theory as to that chin.
We Are Angels in the chat says no one looks good in that Flash costume.
Oliver looks like some creepy creepy pedophile guy in Halloween. he's like, kids, let's get away from this creepy man.
You know what, though? What's weird is John Wesley Shipp can still pull it off in the 90s.
He looked good, man. He looked good in his 90s costume.
I thought he looked really good in the 90s, the Flash outfit.
Sorry. What you said, Mark. I'm imagining Flash zooms in and is like, I'll save you kids. And then he just run away screaming ah!
God.
Carrie in the YouTube chat says, I don't want to get too deep in the weeds, but I did have some issues with how they treated Oliver. Iris was mean to him. Lois called him a jerk, and I don't think he would have puffed his chest out to Soups. I will say, though, I found that hilarious.
Oh, the puffing?
When Barry's like, are you puffing your chest out? And he's like, yes.
That was good.
He was the same way when he encountered Supergirl last year, too. He feels a little bit like Alpha fight.
Yeah, he wants to be the Alpha.
Oh, yeah. He's the only one without powers, so makes sense.
You gotta remember, it's like he's the Batman of this universe, and Batman would do these same kind of things.
He's the original vigilante.
He's the OG vigilante.
Right. That's why he didn't want to believe Batman existed, right? Because he wanted to be the original.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of kind of goofy stuff, but I found it fun. I mean, obviously Barry totally threw him under the bus when he was like, "Hey, one time Oliver dated a girl and her sister."
Oh, and he slept with the reporter.
Yeah,
that,
I know. Yeah, they really played up his past.
It was season 1 Ollie all over again. Nothing about
they never addressed that. That's even that. Yes, that was the way he was, but he's different now. Really, you know.
He's
I mean,
married.
it was fun though. I mean, it was funny, but you're right. It was mainly just done to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they just do that to highlight the differences between those characters. You know.
I did though. I mean, that it was a great dynamic though between Barry and Oliver, and maybe I think about the most in a long time they've gotten to interact together. Those two, you know.
I wish they would act together more.
It was a lot of fun. They're really good together.
They're a great team up. They're a great duo, I think. Yeah. Which makes me wonder, like, what's the point of Supergirl in this episode, really, other than to be the powerhouse, to be the muscle?
Well,
like that...
I'll tell you in a second. But first, Lanier says, actually, the puffing the chest thing was something that happened on the set. One of the writers did it and added it to the episode.
Nice.
Oh, interesting. That's kind of
I like it.
Little ad-lib thing. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah.
So I agree with you guys. Supergirl didn't really have as much to do in this one. I think honestly the main purpose for her to be in here is to introduce her to Batwoman and set up their team ups in the future.
Which I'm excited for. Yeah, that sounds great.
Which I think, Marx, you were speculating quite a while ago. That's where they were going to go and team up with Supergirl and Batwoman. Yeah. Although that's why I think you and others were speculating she was on Earth 38, which she actually is not. She's actually on Earth 1, Batwoman.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it makes me wonder if there's an Earth 38 version of Batwoman. You know.
I think Crisis is going to take care of all that. Maybe.
You think they're going to merge them all in one time, Earth?
Yeah. That's what people are speculating online. Some people.
I mean, that's what they did in the comic book. So
it makes sense, right? It totally makes sense. And if Batwoman kicks off next fall, I don't know if that's true, but if it does, they don't have to wait too long before Crisis happens, and then they can have Batwoman and Supergirl team up.
That'd be awesome. I'm down with that.
Yeah, because The World's Finest obviously was a great line. Obviously, totally right from the comics.
Yeah.
I know, but they always write those kind of lines in there, right? And I still always appreciate them. I like that stuff. It's a nod to the comic book fans, you know.
Yeah, it's for the fans.
Yeah, but it would have been better. Look. It would have been nice if Superman, you know, had said that to the Batman. Now that Superman exists,
but we haven't seen Batman.
Yeah,
Batwoman.
They're frenemies.
They're frenemies.
Yeah.
But so, and I was right, by the way, Francis. I remember over the weekend I was telling you I thought they were going to have Batman. He's not in Gotham anymore for some reason.
Yeah. I'm curious if they'll actually flesh that out in some way, shape, or form as to why he's been gone for 3 years. Right, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but Batwoman and Supergirl, that is the world's finest for this universe because we don't have Batman, and Superman is not the lead in any show. He's only been in a couple times. Yeah.
Well, he's leaving, and apparently,
he came back for a hot second, and now he's gone again.
It's like,
because they always have to come up with some excuse why he's not there.
Yeah, this is probably good reasoning why he's not always popping in to help out Supergirl. So,
Carrie Johnson says Kara scene with Earth when Alex was damn good, though. I agree with that. That was a very good scene. Very well acted on both actresses' part.
That was all right. She turned a little quick. Again, it was the third episode.
They had to rush everything. But well, the idea is that it's still really her Alex at her core. That was there, right?
Yeah. That was.
I didn't like that hairdo though.
You know what? That looked like a terrible wig to me.
It looked like a bad wig of
it had to be,
what we call it
hair is really
from
short.
Frozen.
It looked like Elsa's wig. You're right, except brown. Imagine she starts singing "Let It Go." She starts.
Let her go.
That's what the music meister pops up.
Free Supergirl right now. There you go, folks. I know that made the whole show for your amazing singing abilities. We'll stop now.
Oh man!
All right, hang on. Let me see what else is over here on Facebook. Joshua Rapp says the Arrowverse is in desperate need of Hal Jordan. They must complete the triumvirate. Plus, they dropped the idea of Diggle as a Green Lantern Earth 90. Yep, we'll definitely get to that. Brian Sinkoff says the first 2 episodes of Elseworlds were awesome. The third one was pretty terrible. The plot was rushed, the writing felt forced, and I thought it was a sloppy ending. The entire third episode felt like an hour-long teaser for Crisis on Infinite Earths. Truly a letdown episode. So we kind of touched on that as well. Karen Estes says, I liked it, but it had some major plot holes for me. The evil doctor never saw Superman, so how did he become Identical Clark? Oh, we talked about that too. Look at this. We're addressing all these issues. Jessica Helmer says, I really enjoyed this crossover on many levels. I even liked how they did a few legend nods, even though they were not part of this crossover. I'm a fan of when they get silly in the dialogue and do callbacks, and all 3 episodes did not disappoint.
Tons of callbacks. Tons.
Yeah.
And Alexander Martin says he gives his likes and dislikes. He liked the amount of Superman, the Nolan Batman references, implication that the end of Dark Knight Rises might be canon on Earth 1. He liked Malcolm and Thawne. Amazo, the portrayal of Gotham, he disliked. Where's Nora, that there was no Iris in episode 3. He doesn't like Psycho Pirate's mask. And that Elicity was the only narrative carryover from Arrow.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
That was a lot of yes.
I mean, Mr. Terrific was there for a second. And Diggle was there for a second. Diggle vomited.
No Wild Dog.
No Wild Dog.
Yeah, there's no Wild Dog at all.
Didn't somebody get called Wild Dog for a second? No.
Yeah.
Something else.
Somebody said that.
Yeah, I didn't see. I thought someone got referenced as Wild Dog, and
They did, you're right.
I seem to remember that too, but I can't remember who or what.
Somebody in the chat will know. They know everything. Jesse Garza on the Super Geeked Up Facebook page says, I liked it a lot, but felt they could have done more with the 90s Flash and Batwoman. They teased them so much, I thought they were going to have a bigger part. But overall, I thought it was great. Can't wait for the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, I hope we see 90s Flash again. Hopefully he's not dead or anything. Because I was kind of let down by him not doing more.
Yeah, and he's Barry Allen.
He's basically like, you got to get the book. And then I'm Barry Allen. And then we're going to stop. Oh, disappear. Snap.
Come on. Here's the thing. I know it was short, but I actually thought that scene was really good. And John Wesley Shipp, I think, did a great job. It really felt like him as Flash back 20 years.
Oh no! I mean, he did a great job. Yeah. I just wish.
I know what you're saying was short, but I think he made the most of it. And for me, it was like that was still great. That was awesome just to see him there, and just and convey that with his awesome gravitas and stuff. So that was enough for me.
It was great. It would just been nice if he said a little bit more about his Earth. I mean, he was like the one person that knew what was going on more than anybody else, and he didn't get to say much or do much or play a big part in it.
I think they're going to save that for Crisis. I think once Crisis happens,
he's going to die.
That's okay.
That
fine. Flash will die.
Oh. That
to take his place.
Yeah, if he's not already.
And then Nora will disappear.
Everyone's Nora. Everyone is Nora.
Everybody's Nora. That's like a very popular name.
Oh yeah, because Nora Freeze, right, and Nora West Allen.
Yeah, it's as popular
like
as
it's their Martha.
Martha.
Yeah.
It's the
yeah.
Well, there you go, Marx. You're gonna love it, right? That's how Mr. Freeze and I don't know Burial Bond, right, over the name Nora.
Yeah.
I can't wait for him.
It's like that's your wife's name. That's my mom's name. What?
I just want everyone to yell at each other, saying, "Why did you say that name? Why did you say that name?" Just the 3 of them, just back and forth.
In the chat, Carrie says there was no Lena, right? No Lena in this crossover.
You can have so many characters.
Yeah, I mean, some of them they're just tougher to fit in.
Like Jimmy,
they're not on Supergirl's Earth very long, so I'm surprised. We got them at the end with Brainiac and Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, and we got Jimmy worked in.
And there might not have been a Lena on that Earth either.
True.
Like.
True.
I was amazed. Gary made the cameo.
So Lanier says it's been 28 years. Thank you, sir. I know it was 20-something years. Thank you for the exact thing since the 90s Flash. And then wait a minute. Was it 90? I thought it was. Is it 90? Oh, it was 90 exactly then, huh? Okay. Yeah, cool. Listener's Mate says Cisco made a sarcastic remark that he was Wild Dog. I think maybe that's when he was the bad Cisco, like running the.
No. I think it was good Cisco still.
Oh, it was good Cisco still.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. Lots of
bad Cisco doesn't. His jokes were. Fact.
A little much.
They were very corny. Yes.
And bad Cisco was just bad.
One of my biggest problems, though, one of the biggest plot holes for me was was the whole plot of we're going to circle around the Earth in opposite directions, slow down.
And slow down time.
Yeah, and not, it's like, for one thing, that's ridiculous. But two, what was the point? We're going to slow down time so you can get the book, but you're all slowed down.
I know.
So how's that help anything?
That's the thing. I don't understand how did that help anybody do anything?
I know.
I was just thinking, like, is Superman immune somehow? But no, he wasn't. He was slowed down.
No, it was the only way to put them in danger.
Only Oliver was, because I guess the Monitor sent him there, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But they didn't know
Oliver was going to see the Monitor. Yeah, that wasn't part of the original plan. That's something Oliver did.
I know, the whole part of the plan just saying, wait, so we're slow down time so the Elseworld effects happen slower, right? The world-changing effects?
Right.
So, but then they never came up with a plan how we actually defeat him. We're just going to slow him down.
It was really silly. It was a cool shot of Lois falling, though. But I mean, it was the worst plan ever. Right. That's why Oliver's like, "Your plan sucks. I'm gonna go do this."
Speaking of the book, though, did you notice that the writing in the book looks like the writing from Nora's time writing thing?
Speed Force language or whatever it is. Yeah.
The timeless Force language. So I'm curious if there's going to be a connection between Excess and the book. Maybe, I don't know. But I thought that was interesting that they keep using that language. They keep using those symbols, even in the crossover. So I don't know. Like,
for sure, yeah.
As long as there wasn't a mountain, as long as there wasn't an earthquake that swallowed up people. Wasn't that what happened in the first Superman? That's why Superman had to go around the Earth in the opposite direction to turn back time.
I think Lois died or something because of it.
Yeah, but it's Superman 1 where he does that, right? Where he goes around the Earth.
I think that's the homage, right? The homage is...
That's the homage to that, yes.
Yeah.
Even though it's stupid, it's the homage. And it also gave them a reason, like, oh, they're going to die if they do this. Apparently they can go fast enough, so fast that their bodies disintegrate, which doesn't make sense to me. Like, what?
No, it doesn't. Well, Flash has done that before, but what happens is he goes so fast that he ends up getting absorbed into Speed Force, and that's... So, I forgot how, in Crisis, what he exactly did. I can't remember, but he ran so fast, that's how he sacrificed himself. But what he ended up doing was turning himself into a lightning bolt that went back in time and gave him his powers. So, that's
great. If that's true, I mean, obviously...
He went so fast, he was the lightning bolt that gave himself powers in the past?
Yeah.
This is in Crisis in the comics?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. It's kind of a cool way to do that.
Listeners says that was the same language from last season that Barry was writing when they brought him back from the Speed Force. Yes, it was. Very good. Yeah. Carrie says...
Sherlock.
Come on, get it right.
It's such an easy pronunciation. He's broke the code.
Carrie Johnson says it would have been a better plan for Flash to use Flash time instead of trying to stop time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's only for nuclear bombs.
Right.
Yeah.
Carrie says also, speaking of Cisco, why did he not die when he got hit by the van? I wanted to know that too.
Right. I thought he was going to die. That's pretty wicked.
He gets up like nothing happened to him at all. Like no broken bones, nothing.
I'm a little sore from getting hit by a van.
I'm all good. Let's get.
My back's going to be stiff tomorrow.
Exactly. I turned my neck funny. It sucks. So, whatever. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, if that happened in a comic book, you'd be like, no big deal. It's just when they're live action, it's sort of like, wait a minute.
It probably looked really good on the storyboard, but
I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
It was pretty shocking. I hurt pretty bad. They just got up. I was like, oh, okay.
Anyway.
All right. So what, did you guys like Amazo? This version of Amazo?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
He looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
It did.
Like iRobot, little iRobot-y.
That's right. It does look a lot like iRobot, yeah.
But the whole being able to... I mean, that is the ultimate villain because he can absorb other people. For some reason, through Mirakuru, he can absorb powers.
Mirakuru could do everything. It's a miracle drug.
That's why it's called Mirakuru, right?
Brainy was the one who finally defeated him, right?
Oh yeah, that was right. Yeah,
He like lifts off into somewhere, and then he comes down, and he's done. He's defeated them.
It was a little bit of a cheat, I think, but he's a pretty good fighter. I don't know if you're caught up in Supergirl or not, but like there's been a couple of fights where it's been really awesome. I love that scene where he pulls off the rein, puts it on that one woman, she flies up in the air, lands back down the ground, and grabs the rein again. That's pretty awesome.
I like the one where he actually didn't touch anybody. He just moved out of the way and dodged.
Yeah. I will beat you up with physics.
It was good to see that they were able to get Martian Manhunter in there for like 2 seconds, and Brainy.
He never gets enough respect. I want a Martian Manhunter TV series.
What happened to him being passive, though? I thought he was passive. I thought he was.
No, he was. He was rescuing the people. He was getting them to safety, is what he did.
But he's still passive, though, right? Like he's still a.
That doesn't mean you don't save people. That just means.
But he doesn't do anything. Does he do anything? Because I've only seen 3 episodes of the latest season of Supergirl. But does he go in and intervene while Supergirl is saving people?
Only when it's really, really necessary.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not real thrilled with that plot line, but yeah, I almost thought they broke it. But you're right, he didn't actually fight, so that didn't really break the continuity or whatever.
Okay.
Listeners Mate wants to know in the chat. If it was the same language Barry and Nora are writing, he wonders if this phrase, "this house is bitching," will ever get explained.
You know what, though? They better. Because they made that a big deal last season or the season before that when he came back?
And it's probably just a total throwaway thing they thought was funny.
But that's what Nora said when she walked into the house. So it's kind of like a predictive.
Right. So never mind. They are going to use it. She said this house is bitching, didn't she?
Yeah. So he was seeing flashes of the future and stuff, probably.
All right. I'll take it.
That was funny, though. We're going to translate this big thing. It's this house is bitching. I don't know.
What's so great about it?
It's a nice house.
Yeah.
It's not like It's not like a super fancy. It's not like a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air house or something. But
all
right, here, let's get to Batwoman. Obviously, that at least for me, I was most excited about. I think a lot of people were eagerly anticipating Batwoman's debut here. And so what'd you guys think of Miss Ruby Rose and Batwoman and Kate Kane and all that? Wow. Sorry, guys. I see you're really amazed by it. You're really blown away.
I mean, she was like, Batwoman was on screen for 2 minutes. Kate Kane was fine. I don't know. I mean, it's just, it was more of a cameo than anything else and an introduction. So, I mean, you kind of get an idea of how she's like. I don't like that everyone's cousin, you know? Like, oh, yeah, I'm cousin to Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, Indiana Jones' cousin's going to be in the sequel of the movie, and let's just be your go-to for everything.
I guess so. It was really.
I know what you mean. I kind of like though that they made her Bruce Wayne's cousin, so there was that tie.
Is Kate Kane really Bruce Wayne's cousin? She's not. Is she in the comic books?
So. I don't think so.
Someone tells in the chat. I don't know. From what I know, and it's been a while since I read. It was back when they first introduced Batwoman. I think she was just her own character, pretty much totally separate.
Pretty sure.
I mean, I know she had a relationship at one point with Renee Montoya, who I like a lot.
Yeah, who was Question? Who was awesome.
It was first GCPD and then Question.
Yeah,
the Question, which I loved her as Question. Actually, I really dug that. And
she's great.
I didn't like. I hope they removed that.
Maybe they'll bring Question into the Batwoman series. That'd be good.
That would be sweet, man. Particularly if it was her. If it was Renee Montoya.
Yeah, they should. If they haven't thought of that yet, do it.
Yeah, I was really into her Question, man, in the comics.
Yeah, she's great as Question, and yeah, it's not enough. Well, you know, she didn't interact with anybody else. She was just putting on her face as I'm badass, Kate Kane or Batwoman. So it's hard to read what she is. You know, it's like if you saw Arrow and didn't know anything about him, he was just full like, you failed this city. You'd be kind of like, I don't know, is he cool? I mean, I don't know what I feel about him. You know, so.
So I guess apparently in the latest run, she is the aunt of Bruce Wayne, not the cousin.
She's the aunt of
Kate
Bruce Wayne.
Is the aunt?
Yeah, and by marriage.
Oh, so she's not a lot older then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she doesn't have to be a lot older.
No,
Because
she's supposed to be younger than Bruce Wayne.
She married like Bruce Wayne's dad's brother.
Apparently.
All right, I'm gonna pretend that doesn't exist.
I don't know. You're talking about the current. Because the rebirth thing, I mean, it's maybe better than New 52. I'm not sure, but they're doing some weird stuff right now.
You know what? New 52 Rebirth. Forget. I'm going back to original Batwoman, who's not that old. The original Batwoman is not that old, actually.
No, not at all.
Carrie wants to know why didn't Batwoman disguise her voice? That was one thing. She pretty much talked the same as her Kate Kane, more or less.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm Batwoman.
Wait, why? She's not gonna go all deep like that necessarily. Like
she's gotta be a smoker voice. I'm Batwoman. Yeah, she can do the exact opposite. I'm Batwoman. Hi.
Yes.
Hear me.
Yeah. I don't know.
Let me share somebody who did not like Batwoman. This is Justin Lesniak on Facebook. He liked a lot of other stuff about the crossover, but he said he was not impressed with the actress who was Kane Batwoman. She did do better as Batwoman than Kane. She works on her acting. I think she will do a really good job at both parts, but as it stands right now, she just does not have the chops to pull off that part. She had some cringeworthy moments as Kane. Biggest one was when she was heading towards the suit, and the facial expression was beyond awful. Sorry. I think she was going for menacing. However, it just came across as mad. But either way, those did not make sense in the context of that scene. So here's the thing. I think he has some legit points there. Overall, I liked Kate Kane and Batwoman. I actually have never seen Ruby Rose in anything else. Francis was telling me she's done some good stuff before this.
Yeah, The Meg and John Wick 2, and yeah. I mean, she plays menacing pretty well, actually.
So here's the thing. I also, when that scene happened where she's walking towards the suit and her expression, I had a similar reaction. I was like, why does she look that mad and that pissed off? Like, it was way over the top. It's like how you look when the Joker just kills your sidekick, not when you're going to go put your suit on. You know, unless that's her game. She always goes through that process of her game face, kind of like when she's becoming Batwoman, which I could see that maybe. But I don't think that's... Yeah, exactly. I don't think that's an acting problem, really. I actually think that's a directing issue, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
that's something where the director needs to convey the correct thing there.
And and I've caught that before on some of the shows. They get a little overly dramatic, and a director should fix that, or they should fix the editing. Like where I really noticed it was in a past episode of Flash with Cicada. Whenever I think it was flashing back to whenever his origin, and he pulls out that blade, or I don't know. I remember him being in the hospital with the blade, and he goes, "I'll kill them all," and he just like stares at the screen, does this. It's like a very uncomfortable, like couple of seconds longer than we really needed. It's just like, I was like, what? Somebody should have trimmed that down or something. It's weird.
That's a whole other thing.
I mean, Marx and I are directors, so that's the job of the director to rein that in and convey the right things there.
I just think, but yeah, that Cicada's not a very good example because I don't think the actor who's playing Cicada is that good anyway.
I actually think I was just talking about him too. What the hell is his name?
I don't like him.
What's his
Why
name?
do you hate America Pie for?
I actually think he's doing a great job as Cicada. I'm actually really impressed.
I mean, he is too. It's just every once in a while it's a little much.
He's a little over the top a lot, though. I mean, the dude's a little over the top.
Chris Klein is who it is.
You know, when I first saw him, I thought he was the Green Ranger for some reason. The dude who plays the Green Ranger. I'm like, oh, it's the Green Ranger. He's on this now. That's cool. I don't know why I thought that, but
Listeners May says, I can explain the cousin thing. In genetics, most diseases and genetic issues are passed on from cousin to cousin, so I think they're implying the same thing for superpowers. Although Batman and Batwoman don't have powers in that case. Although that is a good point for other characters, listeners May.
Yeah.
But I don't look.
I don't know. I mean, I like, but here's the thing. You're right. I think you're right. It was too short because I felt Kane and Batwoman were just kind of too one note, right?
Yeah.
And there wasn't much difference between them. And I just.
Yeah, you're right. Because, when you meet Bruce Wayne, he doesn't go like, I'm Bruce Wayne.
No, that's the thing. Bruce
what are you
Wayne,
doing in my city?
Usually the portrayals of Bruce Wayne are at least completely opposite of Batman, right? He's like very gregarious and like a playboy and talks great talking to people.
like Clark Kent and Superman.
Yeah.
You know, it's very different. You know, or Kara and Supergirl.
Right.
Supergirl.
There wasn't a huge difference with Kane and. I mean, Batwoman was meaner and more, gruff.
But, I mean, what do you expect from 3 scenes, right?
Yeah,
like
that's the problem. You're right. I think obviously, once they get her own show and they get to start fleshing her out, and she gets to flesh her character out more, and I think obviously it can be really awesome.
I do love. Go on. Sorry.
And obviously, it's going to be a sister show in some ways to Supergirl. So
yeah. So no knock on Ruby Rose at all. I'm looking forward to what she can do.
She does the physicality really well.
Yeah.
The physicality of the fights and stuff. Like I loved all these other gadgets with the grappling hook and the batarang. I was like, all right.
Yeah, no, the Batwoman fight scenes were good. Those were cool.
Yeah, I could really see this being a thing.
Yeah, maybe because her series will be replacing Arrow when he dies next season.
That's not happening.
I doubt that's going to happen. If it was any other network than CW has a good record of long runs of shows. Sometimes they make a certain. The Smallville, Supernatural. I mean,
yeah,
it's a very long run.
10 years, man. 10 years.
And Supernatural's been around 14. Is this 13 or 14? I can't remember.
I think it's 14.
Yeah, if you get cast in a CW show as a lead, you're just like, all right, I'm set for the next decade. I don't got to worry about it.
Wouldn't it suck if you had like a really stupid role though, and you're just like, I hate playing this stupid role.
Well, you can leave if your contract's up.
No, you can never leave.
They sign you sign in blood.
That means 10 years of Riverdale.
Lanier,
quite possible.
Possibly. Hey, Francis, thanks for ruining my day.
And I tell you what, and just to note on that real quick, I was curious. I read the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina comic book and Afterlife with Archie or whatever it's called, which is what started up that Chilling Adventures.
That's the zombie, isn't it? Afterlife with Archie.
Yeah, it's where Jughead becomes a zombie, and it's like Walking Dead meets Archie. It's crazy.
It's so good.
So wait, what about it?
Well, that's the guy who created those. Is the guy who created the Riverdale TV show and now Sabrina TV show. So it's really interesting reading those and then watching the shows to see how what he took and didn't take, because Sabrina is way darker in the comic books.
Yeah.
Super dark. I thought the show was dark, but the comic book's way darker.
Is that a Netflix show?
It is.
Yep.
It's already out?
Yeah.
Yep.
Season 2. The next
right.
season.
No, that's season 1.
I know. Season 2's they already
greenlit it, you mean. Okay, I see.
Yeah, they're going to have a holiday special episode really soon.
That's enough about Riverdale and for the rest of my life.
No, so take note, because they're going to be in the crossover, in Crisis. It's going to have Riverdale and Sabrina.
No, if that happens, I'm not watching any ever again unless they just kill off all the Riverdale characters in that crossover.
There needs to be something. Anyway,
Lanier in the chat had said Jason David Frank would have done better, as I think Cicada he means.
Green Arrow? I mean Green Power Ranger? Yeah, I think he would have done better.
Listener says the actress who played Kane, meaning Ruby Rose, made me think too much of Rachel Lee Kick, who played Josie in the Pussycats.
Rachel Lee Cook. Yeah. In She's All That.
All right,
man.
So I was earlier today on the site out.com. They were saying, and they shared a bunch of tweets from people. Apparently, a bunch of people are getting very excited online about the possibility of a Supergirl Batwoman love interest. And they're getting this from what they said from when they were talking about that tattoos, that it was kind of flirting, and then when Kara x-rayed it and saw her saw KK naked with all saying, I see all the tattoos, deal. So that's where they're getting that from. So 2 questions for you guys. Number 1, would you want to see that happen? Number 2, do you think they would ever do that?
No.
Not before Kara and Lena. I mean, that was supposed to be.
That's interesting. Last year at DragonCon, I moderated the Supergirl panel, and that got brought up by a panelist that, like, a car, I guess, would bring her flowers or something. They're like, why are they hinting at, like, them having a relationship? And I never thought that ever before that she brought that up.
Oh, yeah. No, and up until Jimmy became part of the picture, and there's that whole rivalry now between her and Supergirl, I was thinking, yeah, Lena and Kara will be a thing. That'd be awesome. There was even a ship name. I forgot what the ship name was, but there's already a ship name for
Laura?
I don't know. Yeah,
Kina?
no, it was something with their last names, I think.
Wait,
I think
Luther
it was-
and Danvers? Lanvers? That's terrible.
No.
Duther? I want it to be Duther. I wanted to happen just so we can use Duther. That's the ship. Francis, can you do your camera again, by the way, please?
Sorry.
Carrie says yes and yes to both my questions in the live chat. So I actually would dig seeing that happen, because maybe finally they could have Kara have a relationship that actually would be good, you know, because nobody seemed to like the other ones. Even though I actually kind of like Monel, but no one really liked that. It seemed the one with Jimmy was 2 seconds long, as we've talked about many times, right?
Yeah.
So
Worst kisser ever, apparently.
So maybe her and Kat Kane could actually be a cool relationship, but I don't think they're ever going to do that. And I think they only wrote that to be funny dialogue and cause a little awkwardness. Yeah. I don't think there was any. I don't think they're trying to hint that that's what they want to do with the show.
No, I don't think so. If anything, you know, Alex and Batwoman maybe, but
yeah,
I
sure.
don't think they're on different Earths. It can never work. They're just on two different worlds.
Until Crisis, and they're on one.
You know, with all of the pertinent topics that they use on Supergirl, I'm surprised being single and just being fine with it isn't one that they'd emphasize more for her.
They did this year. That's the thing. This year they're saying they want Kara just to be on her own,
and that's fine. I don't think she needs to have anybody.
She's better without it.
So, and besides, everyone else is in a relationship in everything, right? Like every show has somebody. Every episode,
Jimmy and Lena.
And you know you have. Well, I'm talking about like
Brainy and Nia. Looks like they maybe have something.
Possibly, yeah.
The leads are having a lot of already have relationships.
Yeah, because Barry and Oliver are both married now.
Yeah. So you don't need every single person. Even if you even go to Black Lightning, hell, Black Lightning's married. Like every main character is married. You don't need to have the relationship business.
Well, he's technically divorced, maybe, or separated. Divorced, right? I'm not sure.
Separated. They're separated. You're right. Well, I don't know anymore. I mean, they're together all the time now.
They're off and on.
Yeah, so who knows? But yeah. So I mean, just saying, like, there's already a bunch of relationships. Let's leave that stuff. Let. Why
is Supergirl not get love? Why do you hate Supergirl so much?
Oh, trust me. This weekend I heard a lot from Francis about why he didn't like Supergirl.
Oh man.
They kind of did that with Supernatural too, because Supernatural, the guys used to have different relationships, and now for the last, I don't know how many seasons now, they haven't had any kind of love interest. So,
I think it just
you don't always have to have a love interest.
Because then you start recycling the same kind of storylines over and over again, you know. Especially if you're in a crossover of 3 married couples. It's just like, oh, we're all doing the same thing. Yeah. Oh, your wife's crazy? Yeah, my wife's crazy too. Like
you say your wife or your life?
Wife is crazy. You know, Felicity's like trying to kill people now.
Oh.
And, you know,
Iris isn't
that's
crazy.
In the future.
Iris is
no. He means in the present. Remember, Felicity's really hardcore now in the present.
Oh, she was gonna shoot him one time. Come on.
You're like, that's only once. It's fine. Who cares?
I mean, he was trying to kill her multiple times. I mean, it's like at some point, you know, you're just like, I gotta do something.
That's a different discussion, but I don't like that at all.
Anyway.
Anyway, in the chat, Carrie Johnson has a great ship name for Lena and Kara. It's Supercorp.
Oh, and maybe that's it.
Supercorp.
I think that's it.
Like Luther Corps, you know, it's Supergirl.
Yeah, that's the one.
Is it?
I still say Duther is the best.
Yeah, no, Duther needs to be canon. That needs to be written somewhere.
Right.
And as Listeners Mate points out, Kara and Ollie were married in the Nazi Earth on last year's crossover. Yes, they were.
Yeah, so they should hook up, even though she was sickened by the idea of being paired up with Oliver.
Who?
Even though Oliver's a big playboy guy in his past, everybody's really sickened by the idea of kissing him.
Well, let's see. So far, he's kissed Kara and Iris and
Laurel.
Obviously Felicity, Laurel. Who's left, really? I guess, right? I mean,
Thea.
He hasn't kissed a new Black Canary.
That's true. Well, they haven't. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to go that way, and they never did.
Anyway, I don't know.
They never will as long as Felicity's alive. I don't think.
He hasn't kissed Diggle.
No, though there have been some. So, yeah, I was gonna say there have been some scenes where there's some tension there. I'll tell you what. There's some tension.
When they were beating each other up, it was all just sexual tension built up. I mean, they used to train all the time with phallic objects, and I'm just saying.
That's true. I think you're onto something. All right, anyway, but I am excited for Batwoman and Supergirl like team ups and stuff. I think that'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if it means more Barry and Oliver team ups. That'd be awesome. Because weren't you saying, Jeff, that you wanted to see more of the smaller team ups?
Yeah,
somebody said that.
That's the ones I liked from back before they did the Dominators one. I like those smaller ones.
Yeah.
I do too, and I think after Crisis they probably should just do that for a year or two. And
they don't need to. Now that it's become a joke on every episode, every show, they even reference in this one, oh, it's our annual, get together or something. Kara says that right before she leaves.
Yeah, it feels like we do this every year, and Barry's like, I hope not.
It's like Super Friends anniversary,
right? And Legends of Tomorrow just blatantly said, "Oh, it's it sounds like it's that time for our annual crossover." Like they bring it up. It's become a joke now. So hopefully, yeah, they'll pair it.
The ratings are. I don't know what the ratings were for this one, but the ratings are they're like the Super Bowl for CW.
Yeah, the past 2 seasons, you're right. They're by far their highest ratings.
Yeah,
and
that's why I would like Black Lightning, because I feel like it would be a nice ratings boost to it in a way. That's the only reason. Plus, I just don't like.
Go ahead.
I don't like not knowing what Earth they're on. They're always like Supergirl, random name drop.
Right?
Are we on?
Yeah.
It's like, I just want to know what world you're on. I want a number. Earth what? What is it?
They'll probably say, we're not on any. We're on Earth. What are you talking about, all these Earths? There is just one Earth.
On Earth.
Like the
Earth
paycheck
Prime.
If the paycheck is high enough, those guys will cross over. That paycheck is high enough. If they're getting if the numbers for this past one is high enough, I think they're going to be forced into the situation. Black Lightning is going to be forced into a crossover at some point or another, just because of rating.
Stop forcing people into things they don't want to do.
Do it. I mean, just them popping up on the Earth. Like a couple of them, it's not going to like break anything. It's like,
no, I know.
There are other
you guys really
superheroes.
want it, but if they don't want to, just let them do their own thing, man. Let them do their own show. It's okay.
It's just the representation of our fandom, because I like Black Lightning a lot. I think it's a great show, and I think the characters in it are good. And you don't have, other than Barry's occasional lightning power, there's no lightning representation. You need the lightning representation.
You're like, lightning is a minority. We need more lightning representation. We got all this goddamn earth and air and fire. Where's the lightning?
There's the lightning. So
I would love to see. I think Thunder would get a kick out of some of these other heroes, and I think it would be a really cool dynamic.
I think so too. Yeah, but whatever. It's fine.
In the chat, Terry says the Lena James ship is appropriately called Lames. Oh God,
Lames.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I actually really like Jimmy and Lena, to be honest with you. There's a couple.
Yeah, I do too. More than I thought I would, for sure.
By far the best season for Jimmy, I think, on Supergirl this year.
But you're saying the new character, Nia Nall, is supposed to get with somebody or something?
They're hinting that Brainy and her will have a thing.
Because Brainiac acts really goofy around her every time.
Okay.
Are you caught up on Supergirl, Marx?
Yeah.
I was telling Francis just real quick over the weekend, the funniest thing I think that maybe has ever happened on Supergirl, and it was a Kevin Smith episode. It was the last one, was before this one. Was when Brainy comes in to tell them in Kara's apartment, and he puts his hand down the counter and he just falls right on the floor.
Yeah, it was funny.
I literally laughed out. I just laughed out loud. It was so hilarious. He was trying to
I
be all
like that
smooth.
character. But I like that character quite a bit. I think that actor was great in Defiance, and it's great.
Yeah, very fish out of water. Yeah, it's.
I like him a lot this year. Yeah, he's definitely filled the shoes of Win nicely.
I'll probably finish out the season because I've only seen 3 of the 8 or 9 that they've had out right now.
Oh, look at this! This is a change from a few days ago where he's like, "I'm done with Supergirl."
I am, but like you know, you guys
like
talking
Batman
about
like
it's
that, too.
funny. Maybe I'll give it a few more. I'll give it a few more. Look, again, if lifting an entire building, which is impossible, and dropping it down again can happen in Supergirl, I guess. You know.
Hey, look, it makes more sense than flying around the Earth and slowing time down.
Yeah.
Carrie
No,
says,
I think Supergirl's been okay this season overall. I like Manchester Black. He just needs to get powers.
I got a whole thing about I got to do and I don't.
Well, you know him from the comic books, right? I hope he gets
actually,
powers.
No, I don't.
Yes. What is his power? What are his powers?
Well, in the comic books, when he first appeared, he had powers. I think telekinesis, like super powerful telekinesis.
Nice.
I believe, and maybe even more, but at least that. And he had a team of people, and their idea was like, you know, we're gonna fix this world. We're gonna like kill the criminals and take them down. You know, do real justice and stuff. Because superhero, you know, Superman's not doing it and stuff. And Superman was trying to stop him and everything. And you know, at one point, I think Manchester Black used his power to give Superman like an aneurysm or something too. So.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, because I mean that's it's nice.
They haven't established him having powers in the series.
No, he doesn't have powers yet, unless Lena gives them to him somehow. I don't know why she would do that, but but she's working on it.
Yeah.
So
boy, all right.
I'm telling you, man, she's the biggest genius of this world. I mean, she is like a super genius.
Oh yeah, she is.
Which is cool. I like Lena a lot.
Until Lex comes back. Dun dun dun.
No, dude, man, I don't think Lex should be a bigger genius.
He's coming back.
Yeah, he is, but I think Lena should still be just smarter than Lex.
Mm.
What is it?
I mean, it would be more ruthless.
Lex should be more ruthless, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, in the chat, Carrie says, I'm in the minority, I guess, but I don't want Black Lightning to cross over and be in the Arrowverse. Let them create their own Lightning verse. I'm with you, Carrie. I gotcha.
What Lightning verse? There's only them.
He wants a new Lightning verse. He wants somebody else to join them.
There's no Lightning verse.
There are other people to play with them. They're all in their little corner by themselves.
I was gonna say Storm, but she's Marvel, so that wouldn't work.
Static Shock. So everyone with lightning powers.
Yeah, everyone with lightning powers goes on to the Lightning verse. Electro would start creating Marvel characters.
I want. Okay, fine. If you won't put the heroes through, let's just bring Tobias Whale to one of the other Earths.
Oh, Jeff won't like that.
With his harpoon gun. Killing people with his harpoon gun.
What? We want Whale in the crossover?
Yes.
Only if they call him Wale.
Wale?
All right, back to the Elseworlds crossover.
Okay. All right.
So we mentioned so there's some nice Easter eggs, right? You mentioned Nolan and Burton Streets, so the previous directors of Batman, of good Batman movies. The password was Alfred, we mentioned, right, for the Kate Kane's Wi-Fi.
Yep.
As you mentioned, Francis, on the pre-show, Shakespeare. There's a Shakespeare bust.
Yeah, that they fool around with, and that's the Batman 66. That's the access to their bat poles, which I always find weird saying bat poles, but you know what I mean.
Kind of weird how you say bat poles.
Yeah, you make it so dirty.
Bat poles. Yeah, there you go.
That was nice, and that's one of my favorite things about this whole. What are you laughing at now?
Bat poles are very nice. Yes, I agree.
Very nice. It's very nice.
All right, Francis, do your camera again. I can't even see your reactions.
All right.
But yeah, all those Easter eggs and all those throwbacks and references was pretty much my favorite part.
Yeah, and also in the opening, where all the dead heroes were, they had the Green Arrow from Smallville, the costume. That was one of the costumes. They purposely did that. I thought that was a nice touch too. You saw Stargirl, all sorts of characters. Mm-hmm. And I looked up. We talked about this before, but I looked up the hammer is called the Solar Hammer. It's an All-Star Superman. So that was a nice little nod to the comic book from All-Star Superman. Because I actually do feel like this Superman is closer to the All-Star Superman than some of the other versions of Superman, which I like. As long as he
I
doesn't
love
die.
Tyler Hoechlin as Superman. He's
So All-Star Superman leaves Earth a lot to be taken care of by Supergirl. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well, I mean, he's like deals with more cosmic stuff, and he's got more of a history already, and he's got all this stuff going on, and I feel like that's a little bit closer to what the Superman is. I don't want him to die like he did in that comic book, but but I feel like that was the big thing they did, was they tried to make everything really big and epic. Like in the comic book, the Solar Hammer was part of two things. There was I forgot the other one, an anvil of something, and he would like make mini suns with it and feed it to the Sun Eater that he had, imprisoned. That kind of stuff. It's like really massive, ideas and stuff. I thought was kind of cool.
Is not like that. They treated Superman really well in this crossover. I mean, they gave him the Smallville, theme. He's always just, I don't know, like they need to give him. The rumor is he's getting his own show, or is that already like confirmed he's getting his own show?
I think it's rumor still.
Because
I would love it. Yeah, here's the thing. He's amazing as Superman. I love him. And as Clark Kent, too.
Yeah.
I've always said this. He's only been on, like, I think this is his 4th appearance now. I think he was 3 times with Supergirl in the past on season 2. Or season 3? No, season 2, yeah. They write him better than Supergirl. He's barely in it. He's barely in it, and I feel they do a way better job with Superman than they do with Supergirl, which is ridiculous because it's her show. But
because he's got the moral compass. He's a seasoned hero. Technically Supergirl is still a new.
But that's but they're writing him correctly, and I still don't feel they've never had.
Well, but if they had a series, they'd have to do more conflict with them and have more, some stuff going on, so it's not always perfect for him.
You're saying because he's only in there a little, they don't have to do a lot.
Yeah, that's part of it. But they do a great job capturing the classic Superman feel. Like that's why I don't like the Superman in the movies very much, because that doesn't feel like Superman that I know and that I like. It's too dark. It doesn't capture the feel of what I like about Superman.
Brooding, not enough neck snapping, not enough sadness.
No, not enough. Yeah, it's like when I think of Superman, that's not what I'm thinking of. Maybe Batman, but not Superman.
And not really Batman either, actually, in terms of killing people.
But now he does. So hey.
Yeah, I know he's not supposed to though. Listeners mate in the chat says they even put Captain Freeze in the crossover. He was dead though. Captain Cold, I think he means.
Cold. Yeah, they had his jacket. I think.
Right, yeah. All right,
we'll never know what was on Earth 90.
No, yeah, poor Earth 90.
Let's. I totally want to get to Smallville. What?
Sure.
That's actually a nice nod, because that was 1990 of the Flash, and it was Earth 90.
Oh, I didn't catch you. Good call. Nice. I never put that together. That's very good.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was actually wondering. I was like, wait a minute. Where's 90 coming from? There's only 52. But there you go.
Yeah. Oh, right. There's 52 known Earths, but I guess now that there's infinite.
Yeah, you're right. Very cool. I like that. That's nice. Yeah, they did huge props to the producers and writers. They did a hell of a job paying homage and honoring past shows and comics and stuff. So really well done. Before I get to Smallville, which I totally want to get to, let's finish up with the Batwoman stuff. Arkham Asylum, what do you guys think of the portrayal of Arkham? And Gotham in general, I suppose.
I mean, it wasn't a lot.
I liked it.
There wasn't a lot of it. It just felt small. The asylum kind of, I mean, just in the sense of like they showed a street, right? Like they showed a street and they showed a building. They didn't show a lot of Gotham as a whole. And Gotham, Gotham is just a wasteland apparently.
It's always
this worse than Star City.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's a Batwoman. Like, there are heroes. Technically, if there's a Batwoman, essentially there could be Robins and a Nightwing and like all of these other heroes. Especially if you're going to put in Cobblepot and Nigma and like all of these villains and Pamela. Yeah, like you're going to put these villains in there. There's got to be
Pamela
heroes. Pamela Isley?
Poison Ivy.
Oh, there. Okay, yeah.
So you have, and you have like the Scarecrow. You have all of these villains that they were so happy to show off, and yet there's one bad person Batwoman is the only person that exists. I don't know, but anyway,
well, we don't know that. That's the only one we've seen.
But God, no, I liked it. I was, Arkham was like it was a brownish prison.
I mean, I thought they captured the feel of like of a really, I don't know, crappy asylum with weird shit going on there and mad scientists kind of doing shit.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I liked it. I liked the possibility of it. It wasn't enough to know if it's not enough to get a read on. You know what I mean? And that's a good point with when you mentioned Superman. I feel like the first appearance of Superman, I was like, man, I wish she had a series or whatever. With Batwoman, I'm like, well, I'm looking forward to series, but I didn't really go googly eyes or whatever about it. So they're going to have to show me some more.
Yeah, but I also think it's because we know there's going to be a series. There's no potential for a series. No,
yeah. It's definitely.
It's like, oh, we know they're going to make a series.
Yeah.
That's definitely a done deal, right? They are working on it, right?
As far as at least a pilot. I don't know.
Yeah, pilot.
But look, I like all the nods. I mean, this was Easter. I mean, this crossover was Easter egg central, especially in Arkham Asylum, especially all of the Batman stuff. Like, that was really cool.
Well, and it'll be great to have all that Gotham stuff in there, and then it's built not only to have crossovers really easily with Supergirl, but also it could have crossovers in some ways, even small ways, with Arrow too. And I think those two shows, meld together well.
And with Gotham being its final season, you can just bring over people from Gotham.
I hope they don't.
I think that's why. No, I don't think they're bring over Gotham people.
No.
But hopefully they'll carry on what they've been doing with CW, and they will. When they cast people, they'll think about nods to previously cast people. So, at least, whatever.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
It would be. I mean, if they got rid of the history of Gotham, it would be interesting. Like, I think the guy who played Penguin was great, and a lot of those actors are great. It would be nice to see some of them, but I'm sure they'll find other good actors too.
Yeah. You're not wrong. And of course the aesthetic and the vibe of those two shows are so different. I don't know if it necessarily.
I am not a fan of the show Gotham, so I'm hoping this goes in a totally different direction.
Yeah, I tried. I just,
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's ending, right?
Yeah.
To see it's not CW. It only gets like 5 seasons, right, instead of 10.
Well, no, this one. Oh, yeah, right.
I think this is the 5th season.
Yeah.
And that's not, by the way, that's not a bad run. It's funny nowadays that back in the day, 4 or 5 seasons would have been considered like good, solid run for a series. And it's now like if you don't do like 10, you're like, oh, what the hell happened? Why are you only doing like 8 seasons?
What was the point? What was the point?
4 or 5 seasons meant syndication, so like that's the biggest,
Yeah, but tons of 80s shows that I watched in the 80s and 90s. 4 seasons, 5 seasons maybe.
Yeah,
that was enough.
It's never enough.
Never enough. No, never enough.
Sometimes it's too much. Sometimes shows go way too long.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Like Smallville. I mean,
all right. How do I eject you from this? You didn't even watch it. You can't say that.
I didn't
even watch it. I mean, making those comments.
Hey, last couple of seasons,
but
they had
I even told them that I thought the last season of Smallville was not as hot. The last couple of years ago, yeah.
The Blur.
It had dark side-ish, sort of. I can't remember really how that all worked out.
They did. I told them they did. What's his face? Why can't I remember his name? Doomsday. The guy who's on Supergirl now is Doomsday.
Yeah, that's right. That was kind of weird.
Sam Witwer.
How they did that.
Couldn't get Tom Welling. Anyway.
Well, speaking of Smallville, this is still my absolute favorite part of the Elseworlds was all the homage to Smallville, which came pretty early on. Yeah, when Barry and Oliver jumped through that thing, and actually the music, which, and folks, if you're like Francis, if you haven't seen Smallville, Mark, you saw all of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite shows. I love Smallville. That's a theme song from Smallville. It's by Remy Zero is the name of the band. That's what they played in the opening of every episode. So as soon as that kicked in, I was like, oh my God, it was like the greatest thing ever. I was so happy. I had a huge smile on my face. And then the first shot they did, that is actually shot from the opening of Smallville. That exact footage
the barn.
No, the shot of the town. The shot of the town.
Oh, the town. Okay.
But I will tell you, they shot on the same exact location that Smallville shot the Kent farm on. That is the same house and farm that Smallville was shot on. So huge props for them. Like, they really went out of their way, man, to like pay homage to that, going to the same location and everything. They even did Smallville, and if you're not a filmmaker, maybe you wouldn't pay attention to this, but I did. Smallville was known for its amazingly long and complicated dolly shots that they did. Like, they were amazing, like what the crew did. And they didn't do a super crazy one here, but they did start in a dolly shot into the farm, when they're on the truck on this thing as well, which I liked. And then and the fact that you couldn't even see who it was because the truck there, right? I was actually wondering, oh my god, is it going to be Tom Welling? Like, who is it going to fucking be? It was cool, and it wasn't. But I was super happy that it was, the Superman of this world, and that
Tom Welling can't be Superman. That's a rule, apparently.
He was in the very last episode.
No, you can't. We can never show his face.
Right, he can't show his face
and suit at the same time.
Right,
I mean, you can't do that.
Well, he would have been Clark Kent. But they made a reference to the ladder, right? Which is a small. I think the ladder was already rickety.
Yeah.
He says, "Watch the ladder to Lois."
Wow,
that's good.
Wow. All right.
And what do you guys think of her as Lois, that actress?
I liked her. She was good.
It's fine. Yeah.
It's like she was fine.
Again, not enough screen time.
Yeah.
I mean,
They had a good chemistry, the two of them did, I think. And
I think so too. Yeah.
I read an interview with her, and she said that she tried to get some ideas from Margaret Kidder, for her performance. It's really only Lois that she knew. So.
Lanier says the owner of that farm is getting serious bang from the CW for filming on that farm.
Hell yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Well.
So my favorite Lois is actually Smallville's Lois, Erica Durant's. I love her Lois.
Wasn't she a ninja in that show too? Wasn't she like fighting? I don't know. Not like a ninja ninja. Like,
I think you're thinking of
Lana.
Lana did some weird stuff. She was like
later seasons became like trained in martial arts.
She's like a witch, and then she did Crouch the Hidden Dragon.
She's only a witch. The one episode when she gets possessed by a witch.
She was a
ninja.
Witch. She eventually went off to do like secret agent stuff or something. I don't know.
I have very scattered knowledge of Smallville. I was under the impression either one of the Lane or Lang was
Lana Lang. Somebody else. Lex, Luth, Lena, Lois. What the hell?
There's a lot of L's in his life.
Yeah, love L names. Yeah, his arch nemesis and his loves are all L's.
Yeah, so which means he probably loves Lex Luthor.
Maybe that's why Lex
really Klex.
Yeah, or Lark.
Clark and Lex.
Lark. It's a lark.
That's why Lex really turned bad, is because Clark didn't return his love.
Yeah, so
because he lost his hair, and then he's like, I don't like bald men. It's like, no, I'm go evil.
So you ever thought about a wig?
I would love to see Lex Luthor wear the wig that Batwoman had on. I don't know why that popped in my head.
I do like the fact that she wore I like that she wears a wig. I don't know. Does she wear a wig in the actual comic?
Well, see,
is it a
yeah?
Yeah, it is.
See, from my memory, correct. Yeah, people, I'm not sure. I thought the original Batwoman
was her hair.
She had red. That was her hair was red. She had long red hair. I didn't think it was a wig actually.
Maybe I'm thinking of Batgirl. Did she wear a wig? One of them wore a wig.
She often does. So one thing I didn't really like is that they made she had hair was totally different. Like the wig was the hair, and I'm like but that's not necessary then. Why are you wearing the wig hair? And you may be like, oh, to make a disguise, but the way the Batwoman mask is, you don't need the hair that covers her whole face. There's no way anybody's gonna know who she is anyway.
Because
right?
she's extra cautious, No,
but the hair is the only thing the hair is going to do is that somebody can pull it and be like bad in a fight.
Yeah, but somebody's like, she's got red hair, obviously. If they pull her hair, they'll just pull it right off, and she goes, "Ha
it's
got
obvious it's a wig."
Ha!
They'd be like, "Ha
ha! You grabbed my bat hair. It's bat trapped."
Right, like a batarangs will spring out of the hair.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up though. Anyway, Victor Snyder just joined us in the chat. Hey Victor, glad you could join us. We're talking the Elseworlds, big crossover here. All right. Anyway, yes, I love the Smallville stuff. It was so good. It made my day. I love that show. So let's see. We were just talking about Lois. So I really enjoyed one of the very tail scenes. I think second to last scene of the whole crossover, which is where Clark proposed to Lois.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys enjoy that?
Yeah, that's cool. I like the crushing of the coal to make the diamond. I was like, oh, jeez.
Didn't they do that in that Superman movie at some point?
Well, I read online that this is supposedly at the end of Superman 2, which I don't remember, but I do love that movie. That but basically the same scene happened in the Fortress of Solitude. He proposed to Lois there, so they were echoing that scene. Apparently, is what I think Collider said in an article I read.
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking of. And I think it's great. They're going to have a baby. So that's cool.
Super baby.
Super baby.
One that can only
Why do you
be...
keep saying it so weird?
Baby.
Fat
pose.
Baby.
Super baby.
Yeah. That can only be birthed on Argo. Yeah.
Well, yeah. They had a... there was a story with Superman. I can't remember what it was. It's like an alternate Earths, what if kind of thing. And Lois did die from the baby, like kicked.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. I can't remember what story that was, but something like that happened.
Kara must leave until the next crossover, which is approximately 9 months from now. So wait for me.
Well, that would be. It would make an interesting Superman series though, because if they have a child, it's a different dynamic than any of their shows too.
Shit, you're right. If they do that, they gotta use everything they've already set up here.
Pretty much. Mm-hmm. Unless it's another Earth. Unless they do like Earth.
Yeah. I don't think they would though.
Nah, they won't.
Yeah, wouldn't it be interesting if like his pod on Arrowverse Earth 1 had just been like stuck or something. He's been asleep all this time, like suspended, and then it lands on Earth, and then it starts a story or something. I don't know.
He's a baby, you mean?
Well, that's true. He can't be a baby, right? That would be weird.
It's all about baby Clark.
Yes, baby, super baby.
Origin story. No. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, Kara's pod never made it to Earth 1, so you never know.
Well, she assumed it didn't.
Right.
Yeah, it could have. It couldn't have gone to the Danvers. That's all.
That's true.
And you never know. Clark Kent could be on that Earth. He just never became Superman for some reason.
Right.
Decided not to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because his dad told him to let the kids drown in the school bus.
Oh, for Man of Steel?
Live drown.
Yeah.
I hated that scene so much. I hated that scene.
Drown.
So stupid.
They can't know your powers, Clark. Let them drown.
So
his that would never happen with his parents.
No.
It's like it's anti-Jonathan Kent is what that is.
I know, right? Jeez.
Listeners in the chat says, I wonder if the Super Baby will be similar to Captain Amazing and Dark Stars. That's a nice shout out to my Super Knocked Up series where a villain and a hero have a baby together. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. I don't know. I wonder if it will.
That baby will become a super villain and they'll fight each other and be arch enemies.
Oh, frenemies.
Oh, you mean the Dark Stars and Captain Amazing baby and then the Superman and Lois's baby?
Yeah, it's like Dark Amazing Baby versus Super Baby.
Dark Amazing Baby. I love it. Hey, I'll do a crossover with the CW. Let's do it.
Yeah. Mark Guggenheim, if you're listening.
Yeah, let's do it. Come on, don't you want to do a crossover? Super Knocked Up. You can talk about all the women Oliver's knocked up in the past.
I can already see the crossover. The sign already as it spins. Oh, it'll be great.
Yeah. Darkstar can meet Oliver, and he's like, "Did I have sex with you before?"
Jeez. Oh. Wow.
Let's see here, and then what else we got? We talked about '90s Flash. Oh, Jon Stewart. Okay, so my favorite Green Lantern of all time is Jon Stewart from Justice League and this animated series. And John Wesley Shipp's Flash had a nice reference to the ring, right? John Diggle, like, where's your ring? And apparently fans have been speculating this for years, I guess. I read that he would be a Jon Stewart. And even the actor himself had said like he would love to see that happen in some kind of like different Earth or something.
Well, he wants to start green, so.
Oh, you're right.
Or not. He turned it down. So
yeah, I know, because it wasn't the right green costume.
They're never gonna do a Green Lantern. Too much.
I totally disagree. I think next year in Crisis he's gonna be a Green Lantern, Jon Stewart, with Diggle.
Yeah, I think I could see a cameo, but yeah, never
not
a
whole
whole
show.
series.
I agree with that way.
Show.
But,
yeah. That's what I meant. Like not a whole show. Like you're not gonna have John Diggle permanently as, or at least this Earth's John Diggle be Jon Stewart Diggle. Excuse me. They could get away with it. We don't know what John's middle name is. Stewart.
It's true. We don't know.
Yeah.
So, but
that would be pretty cool.
See him next year in Crisis.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool if we do. I would like to see them show a few, like just quickly, like some of the other Elseworlds type characters, like the Vampire Batman and some of that kind of stuff would be kind of cool. Or Vampire Batwoman, whatever they have to do.
Oh, Vampire Batwoman. I like that. And she can bite Supergirl's neck, and as part of their romance, I don't know. All right, fine, it's just me. Come on, Marty. For people were talking about they want a romance between them. There's a very
Supergirl isn't gay or bisexual. We've never seen any evidence of that. No.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but I'm saying people want a romance. Some people want a romance thing, and there, from the beginning of vampire stories, there's a high eroticism, sexual content to vampire stories. Not from the beginning, but there's
like bat poles.
No, that is not in vampire stories usually.
Oh man.
Oh. So
maybe her 2-second relationship with Jimmy decided she wants to go date women instead.
Then she dated Mon-El.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't think they're gonna do it, because they've established her totally as just liking guys.
Yeah.
So in Crisis, then, do you think they'll have Guardian and Dreamer and like all of these upcoming, soon to be established superheroes as part of the big crossover? Like, is it? I mean, it has to be everyone, right? Even the legends have to be a part of it too, right?
I hope they do for Crisis. I hope they do, even if it's just a small appearance, just like you do in a big mega crossover like that. You get like this panel of everybody together. It's pretty epic. I hope they do at least a panel or screenshot of or shot or whatever of everybody together. Just one take with Black Lightning in there somewhere hidden.
You know, they're just gonna put like a lightning bolt somewhere of his color and say it was him. Yeah. Like way in the background.
It'll be Tobias Whale for some reason randomly it's there.
He's Tobias Whale. No, I'm just because I mean that right, for Supergirl is they're establishing these new heroes now that. I mean, even though I guess Jimmy not so much, right? Like Jimmy's kind of out.
He's back as Guardian now.
Oh, he's Guardian. Okay.
Yeah,
you'll see that if you watch some more.
He's like, screw the law. I'm gonna do it.
Just like Oliver.
Yeah.
But they know who he is, right?
Yeah.
Don't they? Who he is?
They told him they let him off, but don't do it again or we're gonna arrest you.
Oh, okay.
There's complications, but let's just say he dons the shield again. Oh, which I don't understand how a shield comes from like a little wristband, but whatever.
Hey,
dude, it's nth metal Mirakuru shit.
It's all Mirakuru.
Just use that to explain everything. Anything.
Yeah, the next generation one, a shield, he gets to be able to absorb everybody's powers and stuff, mimic them and stuff like Amazo.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? I forgot now.
Well, we were originally talking
about Jon Stewart and Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I hope they do a shot with him as that, and they bring back '90s Flash again. I hope,
Yeah, I think they have to.
Oh yeah, I totally want to see that.
I think it would be really interesting too if they brought back, because they had the costume. If they did bring back Oliver Queen from Smallville, that actor at least, I think that would be nice too.
Justin Hartley, he's actually on This Is Us now.
Yeah, so I mean, they'll be a nice boost if they get him from a little guest appearance.
My theory is also, I think Crisis, because he said fall, right? Not winter. Which makes me think that Crisis is going to be season long.
Well, no, this is still fall. We're in fall right now. Winter doesn't get until December 21st.
Oh, right, sure.
Yeah.
So all that means is probably going to be November, December again, like
okay.
usual.
Dang that.
This was later than usual this year. Usually, last year it was earlier. It was more like Thanksgiving time.
I wouldn't mind a
week
season
after.
Though, like,
Season-long Crisis?
as an arc.
No.
The build-up to the Crisis.
Oh, the build-up to the Crisis. Okay.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
They're doing it. Yeah. Well, they've already.
I think you could maybe do that Flash because it's so tied in with the mythos of Flash. With like he's supposed to disappear during a crisis and stuff, but I don't think you should have it too involved in the other stories. It affects their storylines too much and stuff. That's the balance you got to find between the crossover and not like hurting the other stories, honing down the other stories.
All right. Okay. I appreciate that. Yeah.
The Flash could. This could be what Noro's working for, is eventually save him, right? That's probably what Noro wants to do.
Yeah. Well, and anyway, yeah. Nora's working with the Wells. It's weird. Anyway, moving on.
Victor Snyder in the chat says, I want to see the Elseworld Batman. I do too. I just want to see Batman at all.
General.
I think it would be nice to see Batman, yeah.
But it's so funny. Like, he's the one character that shows never outside of Gotham, which
not even Gotham
hasn't done it. But I guess supposedly at the end of the 5th season he's gonna become Batman, which makes no sense to me because he's not old enough. But I don't. Whatever.
No, there's gonna be a time jump.
There's a time jump. That's what I was wondering. But somebody told me there wasn't. I don't know.
It's gonna be Bat-Teen.
Bat-Teen.
Well, I mean,
that sounds like
he starts off as Robin.
That's some kind of vitamin supplement.
He starts off as Robin.
Take your Bat-Teen, kid, before you go to bed.
Everybody knows there's no one grumpier than a teenager.
They can be very surly. You're right. That's terrible. All right.
I don't want to go to bed. I'll stay up all night and fight crime.
You're not my dad, Alfred.
You can't tell me what to do.
You know what to do.
Well, Alfred's getting his own show, right? Pennyworth?
No, just a little mini-series.
I know, his own mini-series.
Which a prequel, which I don't want to see.
Because everybody's want to know.
Is it the
I'm waiting for the Aunt May prequel. That's what I'm excited about. When she was a secret agent, And
that's right.
Yeah.
She's a secret.
How did her and Uncle Ben meet and work for the government?
Yeah, how they meet and fall in love. I want to know this stuff. Come on.
Wait,
Mom,
come on. I want to know
how they get together.
No, I want to know about Aunt May and Uncle Ben's parents. What did they do?
You're right. Come on. But they probably fought in World War II and did a bunch of crazy stuff. Let's see that stuff.
I just want to know how Uncle Ben became a multi-million-dollar rice corporation to just become, his sad little apartment dwelling self. That's all I care about.
Is this the Uncle Ben's rice? Is that what you're referencing?
Yes.
Tragic story.
Tragic story. Loss.
But anyway, the shows like never do Batman, and most of the time I'm assuming like Smallville or ones because they wouldn't allow them to, right? DC.
Up until now, they didn't do Superman either, right? Like it wasn't until Supergirl that they decided to have a show.
Smallville was about Superman. That's Clark Kent. They had all the rights to that.
Bruce Wayne in Smallville at all? There was no Bruce Wayne.
The closest they ever got was Chloe Sullivan said something about this guy in Gotham. She made a reference to Bruce Wayne in Gotham City.
I mean,
kind of like how Oliver, at one point referenced Bruce Wayne right earlier.
I mean, Batman is arguably the biggest kind of pop culture comic book property. I guess you got to play it with kids' gloves. Otherwise, you can, I mean, they lucked out with what's his face for Superman. Like, who knows? Pick a terrible guy to be Batman, and it can hurt. It can take.
Yes, you try not to cast terrible people for the roles.
But I mean, you can't help it. Sometimes people are cast terribly.
Like the guy cast as Deegan should be Batman.
The guy cast what?
As the guy that was Deegan should be Batman.
Who's Deegan? Oh, the doctor.
Yeah, the evil doctor guy, Doctor Destiny or whatever.
You should be Batman. Oh God.
Yes, yeah.
Well, Mark, you watch Birds of Prey, right?
Yeah.
Francis, you didn't
watch
it, did you?
I did.
It actually had a Birds of Prey vibe to it in a way, didn't it? Cinematically in some ways.
The Batwoman stuff?
Yeah, kind of.
You're right. It kind of did, actually. You're right.
Yeah, it kind of did.
It totally did. You're right. I didn't think about that before. But anyway, in the opening of Birds of Prey, you see Batman in that scene in the opening. But then again, they just reference him from that point on. They never see him. And
you hear Joker laughter kind of thing.
Because
Alfred's like, once upon a time in Gotham City.
Wait, does he really?
Oh my God, that was the most ridiculous impersonation. But it was still awesome.
Once upon a time, that's how
he narrates the opening. You're right. I like that, Alfred. You didn't like Alfred?
I didn't like that opening, but I like Alfred fine. Or the first episode of Birds of Prey, where every time Huntress does stuff, you hear cat meow, cat roars or whatever going on.
Oh, because she was the daughter of Batman and Catwoman.
Yeah,
which was like the Earth 2 Huntress, right?
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
I liked that series, but it was pretty rough when it first started.
I did. It was very hit and miss. They didn't with their episodes.
It was hit. I wish they had. I think it could have.
They needed more time.
They did.
Yeah. It only had half a season, so I didn't have the time.
Was it only half a season?
It was only 13 episodes. I have the complete thing, and I even have I got to see, and that one they put the original. I don't know if you know, they had an original pilot which they never aired. That's on the DVD set.
It's the Firefly of DC.
Yeah, except that everyone will tell you they love Firefly, except me apparently, and no one will. You don't get. Well, actually, a lot of people do say they like Birds of Prey. I talked to be honest with you.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I think
but it doesn't have the cloud of Firefly by any means in terms of it.
Maybe that's what we'll get with that's what we'll get with Batwoman after a while, because they do that with every one of the shows. They always become an ensemble cast, so they'll probably become practically like Birds of Prey. So.
Oh shit. Dude,
right.
we were talking about, you and me on this show every episode. We want Birds of Prey series, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's how we'll get it through Batwoman. You're right.
I suspect we might. Yeah,
makes sense.
That's smart, because we've had Huntress and Arrow. We've had multiple Black Canaries.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I mean, we may have to get a new Huntress because it's been so long since that actress. Who knows what she's doing now.
Yeah.
But Dinah could come over to that show as Black Canary.
Yeah, when Oliver dies, and
so you and Oliver died. Oliver doesn't. She can just go over the show. Oliver doesn't have to die for it to happen.
Yeah. You can just leave the show. Just be like, you already got Black Siren. There's too many screamers. I'll go over there.
They do something to Legends. Let's ship her to a good show instead.
Oh, yeah, Legends, exactly.
All right.
Right.
But you're right. That's a great call, Marx. I think you're onto something there. Maybe we'll
I can see that.
Now I'm really excited even more excited.
Oh, I think that show has a lot of potential. They'll just have to. We'll see what they do with it.
It'd be nice if they bring some Birds of Prey actresses maybe back as cameos, like in Batwoman.
Should.
I'm curious if the upcoming Birds of Prey, the blah 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 thing with Harley Quinn, blah blah. Yeah. Will affect.
What's all this blah blah blah? You mean the movies?
Because there's a stupid parentheses title to the new Birds of Prey. Or no, sorry, is it Suicide Squad or Birds of Prey that they're having?
Birds of Prey.
Yeah, it's like the emancipation of Harley Quinn or something like that.
No, that's the subtitle to it, or like what I mean?
Subtitle.
You gotta be kidding me? Are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
they
terrible.
did it as a joke originally, but then it's just stuck. They're like, yeah, I like it. Let's do it.
That's terrible. So. That's horrible. Just call it Birds of Prey.
It's called.
Yeah, Harley Quinn was never really part of Birds of Prey. I mean, maybe she is at some point, but
she's never, as far as I know.
Okay, she's never been. So I know she eventually wasn't.
She could have been in the comics for all I know, but I don't. Not that I.
But she wasn't for like a very long run. I mean, I read a good, number of the first story arcs, and she wasn't in there. So
there it is. It's Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Oh,
that's
good God.
Movie.
Oh, that cannot stick by the time they release that.
February 7th, 2020.
What is it? What date?
February hits theaters February 7th, 2020.
Do we know anything about it? What characters will be in it?
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
The one character who shouldn't be in it, Gray, is going to be in it.
Yeah, they'll have Batgirl and
who else? I hope they have I hope they have Huntress, man.
Yeah, it doesn't say here who exactly. I mean, Mary Elizabeth Winstead is involved. I think they do have Huntress and that they named a couple of characters, but yeah, I don't know. Look, it's going to be bad. It's just.
I mean,
yeah.
the core is.
It might not. Some of the DC stuff's good. There's some. I mean, movies I'm talking about.
Again, I just actually Aquaman. I actually just read a bunch of reviews on it. It actually is overall getting pretty good reviews.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman's a fantastic movie.
Yeah,
but
Wonder Woman.
Justice League.
Right.
Justice League, okay.
Yeah, you guys don't have to love it. I still love it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we'll see. I'm curious if that'll affect if they do a Birds of Prey style.
No. Well, I don't know. I hope not, because I don't know. That doesn't.
You never know.
That's a weird take on Birds of Prey. And the Birds of Prey should be Huntress, Black Canary, and some version of Batgirl. Ideally Oracle, but they're not going to do that.
No.
Those are like the 3 cores of Birds of Prey.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they're just Harley Quinn, because it's just her and Deadshot were the 2 standouts in Suicide Squad, and they're just trying to milk that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so Mary Elizabeth Winstead is Huntress, Black Canary, and Renee Montoya, and Cassandra Cain. So Cassandra Cain, Renee Montoya.
Oh, Renee Montoya, I like that.
And Ewan McGregor as Black Mask.
Wait, so they're using the
Mask.
Cassandra Cain?
Which is, I believe,
that's a Batgirl, right? Isn't that the mute black girl?
Oh yeah, I think it is. That sounds right. The second black girl or Bat girl. I'm sorry. There's too many blending of words going on here.
The fourth Batgirl. She's the 4th Batgirl.
Was she the 4th?
I thought she was the 3rd. Wow.
According to the DC database, Cassandra Cain is the 4th Batgirl.
And that's weird that she has the same name as Kate Kane.
Yeah, but it's C-A-N-E, I think.
Oh, C-A-N-E?
No, they're cousins. Don't worry about it.
All right. They're just cousins. Okay, fine.
Yeah, because she was raised by an assassin guy with last name Kane.
Who was the same assassin who instructed Lana Lang in Smallville?
Yeah, sure. I like that version, that Batgirl character quite a bit. But who are the other Batgirls?
I'm surprised. I thought they were doing Barbara Gordon though in the movies for Batgirl.
She's the one that's normally in Birds. I mean, I guess that Batgirl might have been in Birds of Prey at some point, but originally it was. Well, originally it was Oracle, but
Betty Kane, Barbara Gordon, Stephanie Brown, and Cassandra Cain.
Wait, who's the first one?
Oh, Stephanie Brown?
Yeah. Betty Kane, did you say?
Yeah, Betty Kane is...
Before Barbara Gordon?
During the Golden Age, a female character was introduced as the love interest for Robin. Betty Kane as Batgirl was depicted as the...
I never knew that. Wow.
Yeah.
I always thought Barbara Gordon was the first.
And then Barbara Gordon came by during the run of the Batman television series. That's when they decided to...
Oh, Yvonne Craig played her. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yep. There you go.
Nice. Cool. In the chat, Victor says, I think my sound is messed up. Did Jeff really say he is not a Firefly fan? I know. I just disappointed all of you. Yeah.
Why do you hate Firefly?
I did not say I hated Firefly. And I'm also not calling Batgirl Black Girl.
Well, she's in black.
Some people just did. I just
had all black costume, no mouth or anything.
That's right.
She was fully covered. You're right. Completely.
She's fully covered.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm not saying I hate Firefly. I just don't think it's the most amazing thing ever, like a lot of people do.
Watch Firefly in the correct order.
Yes, I've watched it. I've tried to do it multiple times. Guys, I'm like, oh, this show must be great. Like, I'm gonna keep doing it, and I'm like, no, I don't think it is. So,
like Serenity, I think is.
I like Serenity. I like that movie though.
That's the definitive. If you're gonna do Firefly, just watch Serenity because it pretty much. It does a good job of kind of encapsulating all 14 episodes.
And I really like a lot of the actors who are in that, and Joss Whedon, obviously, I love.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Dollhouse?
I like Dollhouse a lot.
Yeah. You like Dollhouse?
I like all his other shows a lot. Yeah. I love his huge Buffy fan. Angel was, I kind of stopped watching that, but.
Oh, Angel was good.
It got when they introduced his son, I was out. I'm like, I'm gone. Forget it.
when they became part of the law firm, I was like,
Why do you hate children that grow too quickly?
All right, you guys are the ones who are usually ragging on all the young actors in these CW shows, and I'm trying to defend them.
No, that's just me. I think Marx was pretty good with the kids.
Sometimes.
All the CW kids are bad.
All right. Anyway.
So, Psycho Pirate. What do we think about him?
How do we get off track? So, hey, tell us who Psycho Pirate is, Marx.
He was a supervillain that's most famous to Infinite Earths. He's got a mask that allows him to control people's emotions, and he is one of the only people that remembers the crisis after it happened.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah. So he remembered, because in the comic books in Crisis, so up till then, like 84 or whatever it was, DC Comics had been like buying rights to different stuff, and Shazam was like its own Earth, and like a bunch of different Earths. You had your Golden Age heroes were doing their thing. You had the newer heroes, so that's where you had all those Earths, the multiverse. In Crisis, they brought them all together, merged into one Earth, and moved forward from there.
So
but
at that point forward,
remember
there was only
that
one Earth.
Yeah, from then forward, there's only one Earth, and nobody remembered stuff, or they only remembered one kind of history. And Psycho Pirate was one of the only, if not the only, person that remembered what the previous Earth was like.
And they kind of did that again with Rebirth, right? Like, isn't that kind of the thing with Rebirth? Is all of the Earths are back into one place, or is that?
Yeah, so they've done 0 Hour happened. That was sort of like a soft reboot. And then, New 52, they split off to 52 Earths again. You know, they did that. They've been really crazy. Like, I don't read DC as much anymore. I don't read comic books that much anymore. But yeah, DC's been really crazy. Like, have you seen that in the DC Comics right now? That Batman supposedly just figured out that there's actually 3 different Jokers, that he always thought it was just one Joker was 3 different people.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
Yes. They're doing some weird stuff. You also saw Batman's penis.
That's true. You get to see that was an adult run that's separate from the rest of it, and you get to see. But
it was actually a DC comic.
Yeah, there you see Bruce Wayne's penis. Yeah.
What was this called?
Bat holes.
Okay, you said bat poles, right?
Did yes?
I thought first you said bat hose.
Oh, no.
That too.
Well, that just would make sense.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, look.
No, what was it called, really?
I forget. It was like it was a
called Batman Damned.
Is it Damned? Okay.
Batman Damned?
Yeah.
And there's a scene of him naked with his wanger hanging out?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it like a sex scene?
Nope.
No, he takes off his bat costume in the bat.
Jeez.
Apparently goes commando on that thing.
Well, you know what? Apparently Kate Kane does as well, since Supergirl is seeing all her tattoos on her whole body. I mean, she can see through underwear too, I guess, if she was wearing underwear.
Yeah, she did not look through underwear. She's got too more of fiber for that.
No, she did. She saw her entire body. I think that's
how X-ray works.
I know. The whole X-ray vision is nonsense.
And now you have cancer.
Right.
You can't.
Right. That's not how an X-ray works at all. Obviously, the whole thing of X-ray vision is complete nonsense.
Yeah, I can see through certain layers of your clothing just by thought. Like, that doesn't make sense. You see everything. You see it all. But that's fine. Yeah, I don't know. That's fine.
Got built-in airplanes, airport scanner thing in there.
Look, I'm just waiting for the inevitable. Since we're talking about, Batman's penis. I'm waiting for the inevitable.
Because obviously it was going to lead us to that.
Yeah. Because right now they're doing the whole Watchmen created the DC universe. So I'm waiting for that crossover when it makes it to the CW.
Oh,
Watchmen
doing that? Watchmen created this DC universe.
Yeah, Dr. Manhattan created the DC universe. The entire DC universe was created by Dr. Manhattan during the last bit of Watchmen. Yep, that's what they're doing now.
Victor in the chat always says, "This is the reason why I wear lead-lined underwear." Good, smart move.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Very
gonna
wise.
be uncomfortable.
Aside from lead poisoning, you can have.
Oh God, lead poisoning in your dick?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sucks. Yeah, I don't know. See, that's kind of one reason I also fell out of reading comics. I don't know. I just can't. I just wish they just tell nice, simple, contained stories, and they don't have to try to come up with another crazy thing why something happened, and reinventing everything every couple years. And
Money, man.
Yeah.
Money.
yeah, but no, not my money. They're not getting any more of my money because I'm sick of it.
I was gonna say you can only do so much for almost getting up to 80 years
now with Superman.
Like, you can only do so many storylines before you have to recycle or do something really out of this world.
Well, that's
crazy.
why I would love people to read and watch new independent stuff, like things Marx and me do.
That's true.
Other people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's where the good stuff is now, actually, if you think about it. Like, a lot of the more quality comic books or whatever type of, mostly in smaller, like, even web-based comics are, I think, much better than anything you can find that's in regular publication, because it's either really funny or really creative, and because you have to be. You're forced to think outside of the box when you're doing independent stuff, so I agree.
Yeah, I've always liked indie stuff. That's why I loved Image when it first came out, because it felt like, my own, like a new universe to explore, than the previous. I love DC Marvel, but I love to experience something new.
I love the Image, man. Wildcats, it's good stuff.
Yeah, Wildcats. Of course, DC has that now.
Wasn't Gen 13 over there?
Odd. Gen 13? Is that?
I love Gen 13.
Old, dude.
That's Image, yeah.
Yeah,
Spawn.
we're talking about the beginning of Image. It's around in the 90s. Not that old.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
90s?
Dude, we're talking about... That's not golden age of comics, man. It's just in the 90s.
Yeah, you're right. 93.
It's like 90s Flash. Come on now.
Oh, that's right. Earth 90. All right.
You said DC has Wildcats now?
Yeah, because so those were Jim Lee's creations, and eventually Jim Lee split from Image and joined DC.
Because he got to keep the rights to his stuff.
Yeah, and he licensed. It's probably DC doesn't have 100% rights, but there's probably some special deal. But yeah, they have the rights to Wildcats and stuff. But which is unfortunate, because that's a lot of characters. Because the Image used to have their own comic book universe. It was a shared universe, but that all fell apart mostly. You kind of still have a little bit of that, like Invincible and Savage Dragon. A few of those still sometimes a little bit crossover, but it's mostly just independent stuff like Walking Dead and other stuff.
Victor says, I remember Gen 13. It was good as well. Hell yeah, I love Gen 13, man. It was awesome. And Victor also says, Dark Horse comics used to be one storyline comics. Cool.
Yeah, well, I think the problem is they just keep getting different creative teams, and then they rotate new creative teams all the time, and it hurts it. That's why, like, Ultimate Spider-Man, I thought was a really good long run, because you had the same creative team the whole time. It was definitely strong.
Bendis and Bagley did it the first 100 episodes, 100 issues, which is amazing. Mm-hmm. Bagley left the art, but then Bendis still kept writing it for that.
Yep. But then they created Miles.
Yeah, 100 issues. You're right. And that used to be the way it was, right? Writers and artists used to be a long time on comics. And now it's like, they're like an arc, right? Or two they'll do, and then they'll get some other team in. And
that hurts it, I think. Because you eventually get a new team, and they're like, I'm going to reinvent everything and do this and stuff. And it's like, you can only do that so many times till it gets...
They have really... vision, Marx. They have a vision. They have what they see is their... they want to make it their own. You got to give them that.
Well, yeah. And sometimes it works out great, but usually it doesn't.
Touche.
All right, so I guess we probably wrap up our Elseworlds discussion.
Yeah, once we got to the Batman penis, it's getting ready to wrap.
I think we can't top that, right?
Yeah. I think we've reached peak Bat penis.
By the way, I just put a picture up of Elseworlds. I forgot to mention that.
I was worried about.
I put a picture of Batman's penis.
I just put a picture up. I was like, no.
It's a big enlarged picture of it. No, what I was gonna say is they think they did a really good job with Batwoman's costume, though.
Mm.
It looked really good.
Yeah, it looks pretty legit.
Very accurate.
To what comics. That's why I would love to see them do Question.
Yes,
do a good job.
Question's one of my favorite characters, man. Any version, but particularly Renee Montoya version.
Yeah, any version, but that's a good version, though.
I love the one from Justice League, the series, the animated series. That was a great Question. And even in the comics, when it was a dude, as a kid, I read them.
Yeah, interactions in the comic books between Question and Huntress was
so good.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah,
and you're gonna get that in the current Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
I don't know if we're gonna get that or not. We'll see.
Hey,
we'll see.
Is in that movie.
Yeah,
so,
well, they'll probably have her be a Gotham City police officer first.
Oh, probably. Yeah, well, you never know. You never know with these people.
That's true.
Yeah,
they do some really crazy stuff.
It's some pretty crazy. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the DC movies right now are like marketing people going, it'll be great. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then people have to like try to make sense out of it and create a story out of it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like it's happening.
Anyway.
Well, I have good hopes for Aquaman and definitely for Shazam. So I'm looking forward for those two.
Yeah, I feel like right now there's a new creative path they're taking. They got a new head guy of it all. The guy who's directed Aquaman and stuff. So
James Wan.
Yeah, James Wan. So I think it's going to have a fresher take. It's going to have a different take that might be a little more cohesive. That's not so radically different from what we're used to.
You can hope.
Hope so.
Some people are saying it's the most comic book movie you'll ever see or something like. It just.
I imagine
Aquaman
they're underwater,
really, kind of like really just crazy action over the top and just like.
If Momoa can just drop the bro dude business for a little bit, I'm down with it.
Oh, people are loving Momoa though. I like Momoa a lot in that role. I know you don't like the.
I like him. I liked him a lot in Stargate Atlantis. He was great.
Yeah.
It gives
my man
Aquaman a new take.
I don't know why.
What's that?
My man. That's what he says in Justice League. I just love that.
Oh God, I hate it so much.
It's great. I hope he says that a lot, Aquaman.
Boy.
To Amber Heard. My man.
Exactly. You just say it to Tamara. She'd be like, go away.
I have to say, Black Mantis, his costume looks very legit, like to the comic book, but it doesn't look very good in real life. At least from the snippet I've seen. I think maybe once I see a longer take, I'll get more used to it.
I think it looks great in the movie, in the trailer. You don't think it looks good?
I don't know. It's just so big. Like his head's so big.
Though.
Yeah.
I know, and that's how it is in the comic books.
Wow, you're really the costume critiquer today.
I am. I'm very, very costume focused here. I got Flash costume. We're gonna do like one of those shows, those reality shows where they comment on everybody, like all the actors' outfits and stuff. But we're gonna do superhero outfits and say what's in and out.
Let's please not ever do that.
Oh, okay. Fine.
I like it a lot.
It's like the Oscars, post show where they just talk about the dresses and the outfits.
I mean, maybe I'll like it more once I see it on screen more, but it seems a little cartoony from what I've seen on the trailer.
But I think that's some of the vibe Aquaman's going for. I think it's gonna rock. I'm really
Black
Mantis. Black Mantis.
Who are you wearing today, Black Mantis? Who are you wearing? Oh, I'm wearing a Versace Mantis costume today.
I'm wearing a fishbowl on my head and
scuba mask on my head with gigantic eyes. I look like a bobblehead. It's fine.
Aquaman will just go, hey man, and it'll just like bobble his head.
No, he'll be like, my man. And then
my man.
No. Oh my God.
No, you found my weakness. I can't aim my beams.
Oh man! All right.
That's how he defeats him in the movie.
I give Elseworlds a.
Yeah, anyway, one last comment in the chat. Listener's Mate says, yeah, the DC movies are like the choose your own adventure books, but in a film format. I think from the marketing thing you were saying. Yeah. I love those choose your own adventure books, actually.
Yeah, those are good books.
All right, yes, I guess we're going to do some ratings. That's what we usually do at the end here, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we do, what do we do? Oh, it's been a while since we've done a show. 4 point out of 4, right, is the max?
Yeah.
So for each show, we usually do a certain rating, like Supergirl is 4 capes, and like Flash is 4 lightning bolts, 4 boxing glove arrows for Arrow.
This is books.
What should we do? Oh, books, because of the book?
This is the book.
Oh, that's dull, though.
Oh, all right.
That makes total sense.
How many Mesos? How many Miraculous?
What did you say, Marx?
Mesos. How many Mesos?
Mesos. Yeah.
All right, we'll go with the Mesos. So a max of 4 Amazos. What do you give Elseworlds and the whole thing, all 3 parts as a whole? Francis.
That third episode is what kills it. I like the first 2. I thought they were really good, so I'm giving it a solid 3 out of 4.
3 Amazos.
3.
Yeah, 3 Amazos. 3 superpowered Amazos.
Marx.
I'm gonna give it 3.6.
Wow.
Oh, wow. 3.6 Amazos.
All right.
If it hadn't been for the last episode and the silly, like, let's speed around the planet and slow everything down, which made no sense whatsoever, it would have been higher. But I like Superman and a lot of the stuff we talked about I liked. So
Victor has just suggested Earths for the ratings. That would have been good, Victor. Sorry, I didn't see that.
Earths. No, we'll save that for Crisis.
Oh, you're right. There you go. Next year. I'm sure
it could be like, it'll be like up to 90 the score.
I give this 87.25. I'm going to give Elseworlds 3.25 Amazos. Again, I agree that the third, with you, Francis, the third part was a little lacking. And unfortunately, kind of like a feature-length movie, which it basically was when you add up the time. If the third act is weak, it unfortunately kind of puts a little bit of a bad taste with the whole thing. But the first 2 parts were really great. Lots of cool, fun stuff in it. A lot of funny things that I liked. But then also the stuff with Barry and Oliver was not, I think, really in tune with where their characters are currently. So that'll knock it down a little bit too. But overall, it was a fun ride, and by far the best crossover in a while, in at least the past 3 seasons. So I really enjoyed it. And a Flutter John just joined us in the chat. Almost missed it, but glad I could catch the end. Wow, yes, you caught the very, very end.
Yes.
There, but thanks, Alex.
I forgot shirts, right?
Well,
yeah.
Hey guys.
Come on.
Hey.
Come on, Francis.
I got nothing.
Apparently both evil Superman.
Get underneath, right? No.
I got nothing.
Do you have Batman's penis at least? The shirt.
Yes.
By the way, what a terrible thing to come in on for Alex at the end here.
I know.
Right?
He's like, what the hell kind of show did I just
You'll have to watch the rest of it to understand what we're talking about.
Yes. Which you can do in a couple minutes from now as we end. It'll be on YouTube and Twitch, and you can watch to your heart's content.
Yeah, it's called DC Action Hour: The Emancipation of Batman's Penis.
God. Terrible. That was the original name for Birds of Prey. And then they went with the Emancipation of the Fantabulous Harley Quinn or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Oh, man. There you go.
All right. I guess that'll do it for tonight. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much, guys. Particularly Victor, Alex, listeners, mate, Carrie, Aaron earlier for sharing all your thoughts. We always love hearing from you guys. And everybody on Facebook and Twitter actually as well who shared your thoughts. Oh my God, Marx is like losing it over there.
I'm just thinking of Crisis of Infinite Batman penises.
Can you please tweet that to Greg Berlanti? At Greg Berlanti, I have a great suggestion for you for next year. It'll be like ban this user.
You're suddenly unblocked.
Twitter, please remove this person from your site.
Oh man.
Oh God! All right. On that note,
Yes.
let's share some things that aren't Batman penis. Let's share some links. Marx, where can they check out other things you do?
You can find me over at marxpyle.com. And you can tweet at me over at Mr. Marx on Twitter.
Be sure to tweet him pictures of penises.
No penises, please.
No, only if they're Batman's. Only if it's
He only wants Batman's penis.
yeah.
By the way, in the chat, Alex just said, "Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on. I think I have to watch the entire thing now." Yes, that was our plan all along. Success.
Weirdly enough, it's the latter. It's the final third of this episode that gets all bat-poly. So there you go.
Right. So we're the reverse of Elseworlds. Our final third is our best, as it should be.
As it should.
Story. The third act is the best. Francis,
That's how. If you just throw in a penis in the final act, you never fail.
Oh God. Oh, let's not throw them around, all right?
Yeah, I don't think Kate Kane would agree with that. But
No.
That's true.
That's very true. Very true. All right.
Francis, where can they catch you?
Follow me anywhere, any type of social media at AKA the other guy. But you can find all of my stuff at sinceresarcasm.net and other podcasts that I do on the Points of Interest Podcast Network at poypodcast.com.
All right. Sorry, just reading the chat. Thanks. Folks, you can catch me at supergeekedup.com. Besides this show, I do Super Geeked Up Geeky Improv Live, which our new season, I haven't set an exact date, but probably sometime in January, early 2019 for sure. We'll come back with some fun. And we do, from time to time, some gaming streams. Actually, I got one planned for January as well, which I'll be telling you about soon. We're going to do improv for gamers. We're going to do a special stream of that, which will be fun. And you catch a whole bunch of other gaming stuff that Marx and I have done and other people on the site and other fun stuff. And what is that? Shooting an arrow? What are you doing there? Oh, you're a ranger character, right? Yeah.
It's my ranger character.
You're halfling ranger. I remember. Carve of the Black Claw. Is that what he's called?
Of the Black Claw clan or something like that. Yeah.
All right. Lots of geeky stuff. Supergeekedup.com. Super Geeked Up on Twitter. Most social media stuff. That's where you can find me. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Marx Francis, of course, as always.
Thank you.
And thank you most of you guys if you're watching live or in post. We really appreciate it. We do this from time to time, usually every couple of months or so. So we'll be back, I'm sure, when some other shenanigans are happening on the DC shows. I mean, they're all, I'm assuming, on hiatus for a few weeks.
Do finales, right? Probably.
Oh, well, we'll do something before the finales.
Yeah.
Well, we always do the finales, but yeah. We'll come back before that, I'm sure. But all the shows, I'm assuming, are off until probably early, mid-January, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. What the hell are we going to watch, right?
You watch Sabrina over on Netflix.
Oh, get the hell out of here.
It's good, man.
Now I know, people, you can catch up on all the stuff on the links we just shared with you. There you go. That's what you can watch and listen to.
There you go. Yes.
Oh, love it.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Hanukkah's already over, but hope you had a happy Hanukkah if you celebrate that. If not, Merry Christmas coming up. Happy Kwanzaa, whatever holiday you celebrate. Hope it's an awesome one, and hope you get some Batman penises.
Oh, God.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you later. Bye.